Danful offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshe traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danful, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danful, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danful, Africa. To learn more, visit danful.africa.
Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Guys, give me 1 second. Excuse me. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. Hit that like button. And please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. Got a couple of announcements. Announcement number one. Buy my documentary. Okay, I need everyone who is watching this to go to documentary.searchforhuru.com. Again, go to documentary.searchforhuru.com. If you have not, pyramids in the Grand Canyon did not build themselves. Hey, we about to start there right now. Hold on, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let me do this real quick. Grand Canyon Visitors Center. Here we go. We're gonna do this right now. Oh, they're closed. Hold on, they're closed. Pyramids in the Grand Canyon did not build themselves. Boy, here we go. Here we go. Hold on. Dial 911. This is our website. You can reach Grand Canyon National Park if you have a life-threatening emergency. You're already proving my point. The pyramids in the Grand Canyon not build themselves is worth looking up. Okay. Boy, already proving my point. Here we go. Already proving my point. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. So yeah, so hit the like button, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe. Go and buy the documentary. It's all about some pyramids in these we ain't Africans are infatuated with pyramids and the mounds. See the mounds. I don't know. That's their infatuation, fam. Pyramids and mounds. Pyramids and mounds, y'all. That's the infatuation. But yeah, hit the like button, make sure you share, and make sure you subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. Let's see here. What else we got going on? So again, go to documentary.search for Huru. Buy the documentary, stream it. If you have not, I will greatly appreciate it. I will greatly appreciate it, fam. Also, leaving for Nigeria soon. actually leave for Nigeria Saturday. Leaving this Saturday. Looking forward to it. If you last minute, if you want to come, hit me up. Come and join us. Again, if you're a last minute and want to come, hit me up. Come and join us. We'll love to host you in Nigeria because we will have a good time. Visit Donfo.Africa for that. So go to documentary.searchforru.com. Visit Donfo.Africa. We'll go to Nigeria in August. Zanzibar. Well, yeah, we're 2 days away from August. Zanzibar in September, Kenya in September. Then we're also rolling to Ghana and Ivory Coast in November, as well as Sierra Leone in November. So if you're interested in joining us, please visit. That's a good question. King Jams, that's a good question. And that's the question I asked. Where are the FBA anthropologists? They don't exist. Like John Hero Clark said, you got to go pick up a shovel and a spick and go dig. They don't do that. It's all feel good. You know, what's it called? Carbon dated. And, you know, these anthropologists, they have $1 million machines. They come in, carbon date, dig, excavate, all this stuff. We are the original Indians, don't have none of that. It's all grandma. It's all my grandma told me. It's always my grandma told me. For some reason, grandma has become the anthropologist and the archaeologist and the excavator and the digger. That's what it's all about. Grandma. Well, my grandma told me. It's all feel good. My grandma told me. My mama told Mo, it's always grandma. Always starts with grandma. But let me pull up this video from Vince Mensa. He made a great point. I swear I feel like Vince watches. Is it Vince Mensa? Vince or Vic? I swear Vince, I got a feeling he'd be watching me because a lot of the points I've made, he made in this video. But is it Vic Mensa? Vic Mensa? Here we go, Vic Mensa. There we go. He made some great points. Here we go, right here.
So let's dive into it.
I'm not from Africa, bro. And you might be, I don't know, Eritrean.
Niggas don't want to take DNA tests? Fine. But plenty of Black Americans have. This 23andMe study looked at 5,000 self-identified African Americans and found average ancestry 73.2% African, 24% European, and 0.8% Native American. If you want to look it up yourself, it's in the American Journal of Human Genetics. Now, cue the same nigga who believe a YouTube video called The Real Truth They...
Guys, I don't condone the N-word. You know, it's not allowed here, but, you know, for educational purposes, you know, let Vic, whatever. Let Vic cook, whatever.
You hear from you part 17 being like, nah, I need a stronger methodology than DNA science. Just fuck. Next, let's look at literature. Zora Neale Hurston has a book called Barracoon, which is a first-person account of the last enslaved African brought to America in his own words. A man named Cujo Lewis, originally named Oluwale Kosola, told her about the Dahomey raid on his village, where he was held, the Clotilda ship that brought him here, the name of the slave owner, his time in servitude in Alabama, and later his founding of Africa Town. Oh, and they found the boat, nigga. Archaeological evidence. Let's examine religion. Catching the Holy Ghost looks eerily similar to this Yoruba Orisha possession ceremony, doesn't it? That's damn sure not how the Queen's church does mass. Fuck is you talking about? I may sound thirsty, but it's more of a hunger. Let's talk food. Gumbo is a Bantu word for okra. Ngumbo. Okra is not native to America. It came with the slaves, brother. Now, how about dance? You mean to tell me footworking from Chicago is different from this Vodun dance I saw in the ceremony in Ghana? That shit look like Walla Cam. It's the same shit, nigga. Here's where I'm gonna end. This is hot. Niggas in my comments talking about a book called They Came Before Columbus, but they clearly didn't read it. I did. The book makes the argument that Africans reached the Americans before Columbus, evidenced by sculptures in South Central America called the Olmec heads with African features. The problem with using it for your argument is that even if Black Americans descended from them, those people came from Africa. That's the whole thesis of the book. I understand the damage that 500 years of anti-Blackness does to the psychology of a person. We've been told that to be Black, to be African, is to be genetically inferior, is to be criminal, is to be worthy of death and worse. So I get it. But hating, devaluing, or denying Africa as a Black person, it's just hating yourself. To read the essay I wrote about all this shit, I had a good fucking time. Comment, subscribe. Somehow the I'm not African arguments just keep getting weaker. So let's dive into it.
I'm not from Africa, bro. And you might be, I don't know, Eritrean.
Niggas don't want to take DNA tests? Fine.
Yeah. The chronology to have an honest conversation. You already said there's pyramids in the Grand Canyon. We can't have an honest conversation. But you're more than welcome to call in. But again, you are more than welcome to call in. Because as you say, the pyramids in the Grand Canyon. So how can we have an honest conversation when we're starting off on a lie? Again, how can we have, as you say, chronological, honest conversation when you're starting off on a lie? Pyramids in the Grand Canyon. Okay. But listen, I'll put the link. I'm putting a link in the chat room right now. You guys are more than welcome to call in. You are more than welcome to call in. Links in the chat room. Click on the link. Call in. Tell me how the pyramids are in the Grand Canyon. I'd love to hear it. I would love to hear it. Again, links in the chat room. Call in. Let me know how there's pyramids in the Grand Canyon. That's all this stuff has been debunked. It's all feel good. It's all feel good pseudo information. Nah, bro, it's everywhere. It's the pseudo information is global. Truth, go ahead.
Pyramids in the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, pyramids. You know,
salute to you, man. You know, I look at a people and I see that mental illness is all around us. It's all around us. And I don't know who are the biggest or who leads in the department of
hold on one second. Now because I'm calling out the why don't you call in? Links in the chat room. Tell me how the pyramids in the Grand Canyon. Now I work for the government. Oh man. All right, go ahead. because I don't believe there are pyramids in the Grand Canyon. I work for the government now, but go ahead.
You know, I just tuned in and, you know, I caught the last 2 minutes, but I already know these fringe theories. And, you have a lot of people in America, particularly black people. They never really built anything. They don't really have a history, right? They don't have a recorded history. And instead of just acknowledging this, instead of just embracing that large numbers of you more than likely did come from West Africa at one point, that you did not originate in the Americas, just admit there are no pyramids. There was no ancient civilization here that built anything. And even if it were true, what does it matter in 2026? And so these people live a life, and a lot of this stuff is online, people. It's people online, but these people are in the real world. But the fact is, these people need help. And Tariq Nasheed and a lot of these American, what do they call them? Indigenous American people. These people are being led astray by grifters who obviously are capitalizing on their mental illness, lack thereof of knowledge and information. And it's quite funny to watch. I know a black woman, she swore up and down she's not black and she doesn't look like a West African, and she's wearing a feather in her head and talking about she's an American Indian. I said, you sound stupid and look stupid doing that. And then she's saying that her ancestors built the country and did, I'm like, what are you talking about? Where are these ancient ruins and cities and ruined infrastructure and where are these pyramids? And so, I laugh at these people, man. I laugh at them. I use them as a entertainment, amusement, and it's no wonder why other groups are coming over here outpacing them at this point, because instead of reading a science book, a mathematics book, they're conjuring up bullshit. What say you, sir?
No, I completely agree. And what's really troubling, kind of truth, is they don't use any type of. They're so lazy when it comes to their evidence.
Yeah.
Pyramids in the Grand Canyon. Oh, this statue looks like me.
Yeah.
So when you go to Egypt, when you go to these archaeological sites, these people bring millions of dollars in equipment. They dig, they carbon date.
Yeah.
They have their actual archaeologists.
Yeah.
These folks, they read a verse in the Bible and they say, oh, that's me.
Yeah.
You got to do some work and dig, actually, but they don't. It's kind of like politics. Black folks, we really don't put money behind our politics in the same way we don't put money behind whatever information Brian Jefferson is talking about, the pyramids in the Grand Canyon or the Olmec statues. It's, oh, I see this statue. It looks like me. Oh, it's me. Dig.
Yeah.
It's just, it's very troubling.
It really is. It really is. Paranoid schizophrenia.
Mm-hmm.
And have you ever been to?
So, like Brian Jefferson, chronology is the science of arranging events in time and exact order. Now, they sound smart as shit. Now they know all the big words and all the terms, but then it's like, okay, what have you dug up? Nothing.
Have you ever heard or listened to any Twitter Spaces?
Nah, I hear enough like via YouTube and
Yeah, I'm gonna use the FBA movement, like with Tariq. When I tell you, if you ever want to hear a collection of paranoid schizophrenics, you gotta tune into one of Tariq Nasheed's late night tap-ins when they talk about FBA and what FBA supposedly built. you got to listen to a lot of these American Indian blacks when they talk, man. It's a digital insane asylum. It's literally. There was a guy, and I gotta get up out. I don't know how long you were gonna be live, but I'll come back.
No, we'll be here a couple hours. We'll be here.
Thanks. There's a guy that used to call into my channel, and he used to always talk about how he was an American Indian. And I said, well, what's the names of the cities that your ancestors built? And he said, man, mother effer, we had a city with 1 million mother effing people, mother effer. And I said, I'm not disagreeing with you, but for example, how did you get trades and how did you get goods into your cities? And
somebody else talk.
Give me 45 seconds. Yeah.
And what was the infrastructure like? He said, motherfucking bitch, I don't know, motherfucker. Shit, man, shit. I'm like, dude, if you are making this claim, why is it wrong for me to ask you these things? Because the white man, he'll make a movie about ancient Rome. He'll make a documentary about ancient Rome, and he'll show you how the aqueducts work. He'll show you how they heated certain rooms. He'll show you how systems worked. He'll show you how infrastructure worked going back 2,000-3,000 goddamn years ago. So I'm trying to figure out, why do these people get so mad even when you ask them? Okay, if the pyramids are in the Grand Canyon, do you have any proof, visual proof? Have you been there? What I mean, so I've always found that interesting about this group. MFG, you cut me off, so go ahead, buddy.
Well, go ahead, M.
Yes, thank you, sir. So what country are you from, sir? The last person speaking.
I'm from the United States of America.
Where's your family from? Are you an American? Are you African? What are you?
My mom is from Alabama. My dad is from Tennessee.
So you're a so-called, you would be a FBA if you wanted to.
Sure.
Okay, so this guy spoke of his own people and the third person saying they don't have a history.
We don't.
You say we don't have a history. That's what you say.
We don't.
So you telling me the Civil War is not a part of history?
That's a part of American history.
So where do we fit in the Civil War? We wasn't part of that.
Our ancestors certainly participated.
So you telling me your people has no history? Have you ever heard of the Mississippian culture?
But I literally.
Hold on. Have you ever heard of the Mississippian culture, the mound builders?
Oh, here we go. Here come the mounds. Here come. I said it at the beginning. Hey, I said it at the beginning.
Listen.
Whenever they talk about the pyramids, here come the mounds. Here come the mounds.
I had a history of architecture class when I'm in school. We actually went over the Mississippian mound builders as part of the curriculum. Also, we went over Burkina Faso, the Mali Empire. We went over the Roman Empire. They're actually part of history of architecture, the Mississippian mound builders.
Who built the mounds? Who built the
mounds?
The
Mississippian people, man.
Who are the Mississippian people?
The blacks.
The blacks when? When did they build them?
Between I think 600 BC to the date they give. The date that's given. You're laughing, but I would say this. I mean, it's not a joking matter. I would say this.
I knew it was coming.
You can look this, so you can fact check this. The mounds. But I'm saying, forget the mounds for a minute. You telling me there's no pyramids in North America?
Oh Lord Jesus.
Are you asking me or?
Yes, there's no pyramids in North America.
Sir, I've only traveled to a dozen states in America.
It don't matter where you travel to. You telling me there's no pyramids in North America?
Sir. What I am telling you is I cannot answer your question to a degree of
forget him. He obviously don't have any type of factual
because I've never traveled. I have not seen it. Hold on. You have seen it, where are these pyramids located?
Hold on. You obviously don't have any data. So Dinus, you said 1% of your hold on. 1% of Dinus DNA came back to Mexico. Is that not true?
The Yucatan Peninsula again. That's 1%.
Is that not where the biggest pyramid in the world is located? Yes or no?
But what does that have to do with black folks?
Is that not North America?
But what does that have to do with black people?
I'm saying you were talking about the Grand Canyon and there's no evidence in America. Your blood is from the Yucatan Peninsula where the biggest
Yeah,
pyramid on earth is.
but
So what are you talking
that's
about?
that's Native American. So in fact, let me pull up my DNA test.
You are from the Yucatan Peninsula. What you talking about?
On my DNA test is very specific. African, white folks, indigenous. It's very specific. So,
But you have a percentage of your blood is from where the biggest pyramids on earth is.
right,
You
but what
cannot.
does that?
Can you acknowledge that for
You're
1
not gonna
minute?
talk over me. But what
Okay,
does that
sorry
have to
about that.
do? What does that have to do with my Africanity? That's indigenous people, not
I mean, as far
not
as
black, but not black.
as
That's
far as
separate.
like whatever we want to call ourselves, as far as a moniker, I don't believe any of those existed before Columbus or European involvement, but those pyramids existed before Columbus came, and that's part of your genetic makeup. You cannot deny that, man. It's part of you.
Again, but that's the indigenous side, not the black side. The
I mean,
black
if it's
side,
black indigenous,
the black side comes from their Yoruba, their Balanta, their Minde. I mean, I am, so when I go on Saturday, I'm headed to Nigeria. I'll be in Yoruba land, Ife, Oyo. Those are my people. That's what I'm proud of. That's the African part of me. And then those Africans came here against their own free will, and they played a role in building America. All right. That's separate from this indigenous pyramids that were built. That's completely different.
what I'm saying is, I listened to your show, and you said part of your blood is from the Yucatan Peninsula, and that's where the Olmecs were. That's where the big heads are. That's where the pyramids are. The ruins are. That's part of
Right.
you.
The indigenous side. Correct. The indigenous side.
Who just say that's not black? Like if you look at some of the paintings, the murals.
It's not because it's very specific with the DNA test.
You ever saw a picture of Montezuma?
Oh, I'm not Montezuma.
Have you ever looked at his picture? They actually have an actual picture of Montezuma. He has dreads. He's like a regular black dude with dreads. He look like nothing like a Mexican.
How do you know he's black?
Because I looked at his picture. But as far as like calling a person black, that wasn't a thing.
So why do they call them Indians then?
Because that's just a name that the Columbus, the
because they thought they were in India.
The people gave them, like when Columbus first hit America, he hit Haiti, what they call Hispaniola, and they saw the indigenous people there. Right. And back then, when you had
because they thought they were in India,
because Indians have dark skin. Like if you look at the Harappan culture.
Oh Lord, man, so they know the difference between Africans and Indians. They know the difference. That's why they call them Indian.
You got look. African. It was an Indian dude who shaved his hair and got black benefits in school because they couldn't tell his difference when he shaved his hair. So a lot of them can look exactly like black people. From
he thought he was in India, bro.
That's what it was. A dude from years ago. He was on YouTube saying,
I know exactly.
Exactly. Well,
these Indians were pretending to be black.
That's what I'm saying. They a lot of them can pass as black. Some of them don't even have straight hair. Some of them got kinky hair too. Because it's like billions of Indian people. All of them don't look the same. They all got different bloodlines. Just like in Africa, you have the East Africans that got the Arab blood. You got the North Africans. You got the West Africans. Like every continent, they have different types of people. They all don't look the same. But I wanted to add this to the conversation, though. But I was listening to the guy talking, and he was just speaking about us in the third person. But as far as Africa and our genetic makeup and connection, I think it should be something tangible connected to that. Otherwise, we can say, oh, we from Africa, we from this and that. But if we ain't really got nowhere and we have no real connection to the country other than being like a visitor or a tourist, I think it's like irrelevant, Okay. They're not breaking bread with us like that. But that's just my opinion. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Go Dazil. Go ahead, Dizali.
What's up, brother? And peace to everyone else on the panel also. And I'm gonna start it with this. When you have certain conversations, I think that we have to understand that certain conversations are not for everybody. You know, people have their own wheelhouse or their own specialty. They have things that they're not strong in academically, you know, trade wise, you know, like I don't know much about cars. So I'll go to a professional and someone certified who can get my car right. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why some of these people they have no problem going to uh, uh, um, people who are making TikTok in their funky basement trying to tell us what history and science is. And they actually hold these people up as if they know what they are talking about, as if they are giving the world some type of secret hidden information. If you go to any of these Weibo slash pretendians, they're going to source you to some guy or woman on Facebook, on TikTok, saying that they have secret information that has been hidden from us. Nothing academic, nothing peer reviewed, nothing verified. Are these people just happy to be a walking lick? Are just happy to be an all day sucker? Because that's basically what you are. And a all day sucker is a victim waiting to happen. Now, it may not be a victim where, you know, you have something violent happen to you, but you're a victim in that someone can possibly get in your pocket and grab some money from you, or you're a victim.
Dazeli, your voice went out.
Oh, let me take this off. Or you're a victim in that you're so undereducated that it will affect you in other manners, that you'll be victimized economically, politically, because you're coming with just pure foolery. And I mean elementary level foolery. And we have grown people, and some of them old fools who are eating this pretendian and Weibo stuff up. You should be ashamed of yourself. And you're trying to create a paradigm out of you're just trying to create a paradigm to make yourself feel better, I guess. And you're presenting it to other people, and the other people telling you, you can't piss on my leg and tell me that it's rain because I'm not as stupid as you are. You ate that up. I'm not going to eat that up. Look, natives descend from Asian people, from Asians that crossed the darn Bering Strait, and there may have been one other way that they got over here. We know this. Our experts, our people who do this. I don't come on your job telling you that you're wrong about your job. That's something that ignorant N-words do. I don't come on your job telling you that you don't know what you're doing. I'm going to tell you what your profession is better than you. But these pseudos, these conspiracy theorists are doing this to people who dedicate years to this. And they actually spend the darn money. Well, they are sponsored by money to go out there and find this information. That's so disrespectful. There's a book called The Death of Expertise. My God, do my people want to be victims forever by voluntarily being stupid just because you don't know what the actual history and science is? It's the actual history. It's the actual science. Be man or woman enough to deal with it and not run to some created stuff, because we're out here looking bad. I'm on internet groups all day and people are laughing at them, just laughing at them. And they on here making stuff up. We always been here. We descend from darn star people, making us look bad out here. But let me wind it down, man. Let me pass the darn mic. I'll get in where I fit in, Brother Dinas. Thank you.
All right, Miss Sisters, go ahead.
Dinas, thanks for having me. And I did not get a chance to thank you other day for the topic selection that I had requested, and you had honored my request. And
so, Miss Sister, I got a question for you. Have you honored my request and bought my documentary?
I have.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay. Y'all, hold on. Let me get, hold on. We got to find, where the sound effects at? There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
To be honest, it took me a couple of days because I tried the link one day and it kept buffering on me. And then I forgot about it, and then I tried it again, and it went through. So I don't know if it was just my computer at the time or other people are experiencing it, but I just said that just to let you know.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, well, all you gotta do is log in. If you got an issue with your login, just reset your password. It might go to your spam, but if you need anything help, if you need any help or anything, I'm customer service. I'm everything. So when we go live again, if you have any issues, just say, "Dinas, I'm having issues," and we'll troubleshoot. No problem.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, well, you know what? I wanted to talk to the gentleman. Was his name Charlie? Who was
not Charlie. Who?
The man who Mr. M was responding to.
Oh, chaotic truth. He left.
Oh, okay. Because he said something that I wanted him to clarify, and maybe Mr. M can he can clarify it, or maybe I misheard, but did he say that Black Americans, that we don't have any documents or records? Was he referring to records in terms of us showing that we have some kind of indigenous heritage here in the United States, or was he referring to us being American citizens? That's what I wanted to.
I think more of the like, for example, Miss Sisters, do you think there are pyramids in the Grand Canyon?
Well, I talked about this before. No, as I said before, I do identify as FBA, and I do acknowledge it, African ancestry. So, but I don't believe that I've heard about the pyramids and the secret ancient language that only certain people know, and it can't be taught to other people. It can only be taught under certain terms and conditions. It's not very convincing to me, but that's just me. Everyone is entitled to think what they want. So
you're being too nice for an educator, but go ahead.
Yeah, so I just want to listen, and then if I would want to comment, I'll come back up. So you can, yeah, so I'm gonna just sign off now. I was asking for clarification. I just wanted to understand him. I guess my concern was based on what he said was, I did not I don't want this conversation to move into one where we are de-Americanizing Blacks. And that's an issue that I had. But yeah, I'm just gonna listen now.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Teddy.
Yeah, okay. I just want to address something that M said. See, this is what the people from the indigenous community this is how they like to present information. He presented that what he said about the pyramids being in Mexico as being the biggest, the largest. And see, if people don't do their research, they will find out that that the tallest pyramid is in Africa. And so if
Right.
you don't know the difference between the biggest and the biggest and the tallest, you'll think that, yeah, it's that pyramid is way bigger than the one in Giza, in Egypt, in Africa. See, this is what they like to do. They piecemeal information and cherry pick information. So that's what I want to say with that. And the thing is, it's not that much bigger than the pyramid in Giza. It's slightly bigger, but it's much taller. So this is what the indigenous community like to do. They like to, if people don't look into information for themselves, they wouldn't know. They just wouldn't know. And they know these people don't know, and they know they're not motivated to do the research for themselves. And my question straight to M is, what is your end game? You're on the stream multiple times. You don't like Africans. You got contempt and disdain for Africans. You got contempt and disdain for Caribbeans, but yet you live in America in a white man's land. You say the black folks from other places come over to America and are taking resource from black Americans, but yet you live in a white resource land, which I'm confident in saying that you eat the white people's food unless you grow your own. You drive the white man's car, that type of thing. You have from previous conversations, you got this disdain for Liberia, for black folks who have left America. You're critical of Liberia. I mean, what is your end game? What do you want to see happen?
You want me to answer that, Mr. Dinas?
No,
yeah, go ahead.
No, that's a question for M.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. As far as what you said, I have a disdain for Africa. You asked me, was my end game? I believe in always having a contingency backup plan, and I think Black Americans should always have a backup plan just in case, ish hit the fan. And I'll advocate for land in Africa, resources in Africa, because I think that's the right thing to do. And also, I think they have so much land, and we have so much ingenuity and so much prestige in America. It'll be complement itself perfectly. But for some reason, like it is seen as like me wanting free land, and it's like a lot of backlash from that. But at the same time, the Africans who come to America, they want full access to our resources, rights, and then they actually spew negative banter and derogatory language against Black Americans, and they uplift and praise white people, like the guy just did, talking about it's a white resource land, and the resources is actually just like in Africa. It comes from the ground. Europeans did not import resources from Europe. They just brought themselves here and just conquered land and took over. So just because they have it's just like how the Burkina Faso drove out the French. You cannot say the French land is like white European resources. The resources are found in the earth itself. But with us as a people, we have skills and we have education. Our wealth doesn't really come from natural resources. It comes from our ingenuity and our creations. So when we actually couple that with land itself, then we'll be a more powerful people. But I advocate for land and resources in Africa, particularly sovereign land. But as far as what you said about Liberia, I had no idea about the coup and the slaughter of Liberia until I started hearing the Liberians speak about it. I heard CD mention it first. He said they slaughtered the whole government. Then I heard Elvis bragging about it, talking about he's proud of what his people did, and he'd tell a Black American he'd knock a Black American head off. He said they got like a language for us, call us Kui, talking about we don't want to work. So I heard this negative language from Liberians. And then I actually dated a Liberian before, so I kind of knew about the Charles Taylor history and the coup that happened in the 2000s, but she didn't really tell me about how they killed off the Black Americans in like 1980 with Samuel Doe. But I did know about Charles Taylor and them wiping out Samuel Doe after being trained by Gaddafi after breaking out of jail. But it's just that it's sad that the Black Americans spent like over 100 years fixing that country, building that country, for it to just be taken. And now they don't even consider it a Black American country, how they speak. I even heard one of these dudes by the name Elvis saying that if Black Americans had a country in Africa, they understand. I'm like, isn't Liberia a country in Africa? So it was like things that was sparking my interest. And it was like things that they would say that didn't add up to history that I knew about Liberia. So that's the disdain that you are hearing. Is not necessarily I have disdain for the Black Americans that set Liberia up. It's the natives that kind of wiped the people out and took all the resources and robbed all the money out the bank, stuff like that.
So you believe in having land in Africa minus the people that are already there? Because you don't mention the people at all. You have this contempt for Africans who come to America when they come from Africa. You have Black folks that come from the continent and come to America. You don't want to deal with the people that are already there. Just the land.
As far as they have so much land allocated to animals, I heard they got like a National Geographic some park. I think around South Africa, it's like dozens of miles just for animals. Like if they could do that for animals, they could give us land ourselves without having, because it's like a hostility that they seem to have.
Yeah, because the animals are close to going extinct, so they have to protect them.
Bro, you know what I'm talking about? This huge park.
Yeah, it's Kruger National Park. I know.
So we need something, and we going extinct too in America if we continue at this pace.
Lord.
That's what I'm saying. We need a contingency plan to have something somewhere else.
Somewhere, are you saying somewhere else on the continent without the people that are there?
Somewhere on the earth. It don't have to be Africa. I'm saying Africa, since they claim that we're all the same people, why not put their money where their mouth is and make policies and allocate land to prove this, other than just rhetoric? And like what Ghana talking about, they want reparations because their people been taken and all of this, but they're not talking about land allocation or none of that. And then the guy said something, the president of Ghana said something I thought was the most disrespectful thing I ever heard. He said after the UN passed a resolution declaring slavery the worst atrocity ever committed, he said our dignity has been restored. As if the UN or him has the power to restore our dignity. I thought, what was that all about? Go ahead.
Can I ask you this real quick? So, assuming that you're not one of those FBAs who claim that you have no African DNA, you fully acknowledge your African genetics, right?
I see that as like a shahada. Like we got to make your oath that Prophet Muhammad is the last prophet and Allah is the God. So they come with this litmus test. You got to say you got to have African DNA. And I heard one lady that got Dinus was interviewed, when the person asked her that, she said, hey, look at me. Obviously, you see how I got the, like, why would you have to ask me that type of stuff? But they want you to say it like a test. It's like that jihadist.
Mark, do you acknowledge your African roots?
You see what I'm saying? I have to acknowledge this. It's like in the Roman Empire, you have to acknowledge Caesar as the emperor and the Roman law. Otherwise, you'll be enslaved or killed.
Well, the thing is, real quick, because if you don't acknowledge it, or maybe you do, how can you expect land in Africa or any of those African resources if you, or let's say you're like some of these other FBAs in Holland, I don't have any African anything, I don't have any African anything. How can you dare even expect to want anything in Africa if you have no ties there? That's where I came up with that at, so I'm just assuming that you fully, accept and acknowledge that your genetics come from Africa. The majority of your genetics come from Africa.
I mean, as far as like you telling me that Africans is not giving us land because we don't acknowledge we African, but a lot of Europeans got a lot of land in Africa, a lot of Arabs and a lot of East Indians and a lot of Chinese, and they not acknowledging no African history or genetics.
They weren't given that land. They bought that land.
They purchased. They
weren't given anything. They bought.
If I understand,
the Chinese bought the land. The Lebanese bought the land. The white folks bought the land.
Telling me doing colonialism, they brought the land. He telling me King Leopold brought the land from Africa when they settled and
No,
take everything?
no. I'm
doing
talking about
It's the host talking. Do you plan on going to Congo and cutting off arms,
No, what I'm gonna do that for? But
Okay,
they got.
so why bring up King Leopold?
But he's talking about land, and you have to have some African genetics. But a lot of people who don't have African genetics that they acknowledge acquired lots of land in
Yeah,
Africa.
do you plan on buying the land?
Buying the land, if they
Yes.
selling it, yeah. But I won't. I don't really trust. I ain't gonna say that because that's probably
Lord
negative.
Jesus.
But I would say,
I swear, I love you, bro, but I think you really be hitting the pipe or
no, man. I'm saying like
that weed and then jumping on a panel, which is fine. Hey, that's
my,
okay.
my friend. Look,
Well,
right?
no, actually, it's not okay. But I'm just saying, like, we're not gonna judge you. But I just
No,
really
no.
think because with your arguments just don't make any sense.
No, what I'm saying is, if you listen to what I'm saying, I don't want to cut you off though, because I know you're the
No,
host.
go ahead.
But
I'm trying to follow you. But go ahead.
what I'm saying is, knowing what I know, as far as like the Black Americans that went to Ghana and got land and ended up getting robbed and killed and robbed, ran off the land, and then Liberia, they coming in just out at the middle of the night. We trusted Samuel Doe to be the general, then he used that power to take out the government. So why would I trust Africans to not do that? Like I would rather have sovereign land in which we have our own military to prevent that instead of us being in their clutches and they could just one day decide.
So you're expecting the African nation just to give you land and let you establish your own sovereign country?
The United Nations, African Union, something. We need that as a people. We deserve that as a people.
But you don't claim to be, you don't claim to be African. So why?
I mean, as far as like, why would I have to claim to be African if I'm a so-called descendant of slavery?
Do you claim to be African? Yes or no?
See that litmus test, that Shahada.
Oh, we got to pass the mic. Go ahead, Patrick. Go ahead, Patrick.
How's it going, Dynast?
Well,
Chat. Dynast, I'm over here in the great state of Idaho. Got out to the West Coast by traveling I-40 westbound. Went through Flagstaff, Arizona, and some of the passed by the Grand Canyon.
Did you see the pyramids? Did you see the pyramids?
I did not see a pyramid, and you can access it from the highway. It's just didn't see a pyramid, but you know me, man. I just want to get on here again, and I just want to say, as a descendant of the Gullah Geechee, that I'm.
Hey, Patrick. Yeah. If you descended the Gullah Geechee, you got to come to Sierra Leone with me in November.
How much does it cost, Dynast? I got something going on right now, but I'm trying to build me a house. But
okay, well, build. Okay, let me build you. Right, meet us. All you got to do is meet us in Newark, New Jersey. Right at 5K. Everything's included except for dinner and your visa.
Okay, I might just do that because it's on my bucket list. I want to go. I actually want to do my my African ancestry DNA. Despite other people, I actually trust Howard University and Dr. Rick. Because I know people who have taken the test, and I know of, and I've read of many people who have taken their African ancestry DNA test and have traced themselves all the way back to their original village, to their original family. And to my amazement, they still resemble. I mean, it's like, and the families, they know the relatives that were taken. Also, I heard someone else mention yesterday, and I'd like to thank them for mentioning that because I was going to ask, does any of these so-called FBA and all these people, do they know the story of Ebo landing?
Well, I do.
Yeah, that's a real thing. Do they know the have they ever seen the movie Daughters of the Dust by Julie Dash?
Not familiar with it.
Well, it's a story of a Gullah Geechee Sea Island family at around the late 1800s, early 1900s. Some of the family members have saved up money and they want to go to the mainland, which is at that particular time was Savannah, Georgia. And so they want to go to Savannah to seek better opportunities. They were trying to get off the islands, and so it talks about the great grandmother who stayed, and they left her behind. And so it's a tremendous story. I think both Black Americans, Caribbeans, and Africans should read it. I think that there would be a lot of just so many coincidences culturally that I think that it would actually become some of their favorite movies. I just don't understand this. Listen, Dinus, I have people that's on the Dawes rolls. And I bet a lot of these people claiming to be FBA and indigenous Indian, they don't even know what the Dawes rolls is. But I got family that's on the Dawes roll, and I don't give a damn about the Indians, cause the family that I have that's on the Dawes roll, they were part of the so-called 5 civilized tribes, and those tribes owned African slaves, trying to imitate the white man. So I don't, me personally, I can give less than a damn about them. And history shows you can't find anywhere where the Native American Indian or the other Indians throughout Central South America were ever greater than the greatest African civilization. Can't find it, won't find it. So why would I go backwards? The original man is the black man of Africa. Why would I want to be anything less than that? I don't understand it, but hey, to each his own.
All right, go ahead, Elvis.
All right, thank you, Dinus. I look in the chat. Look, I wanted to come on to address M real quick because maybe you misunderstood what I said. You know, the Africans that went to Africa, when you say Liberia is an African American country, it's not. The Africans that went to Africa were not Americans. They didn't have citizenship in America, so they were Africans. You know, so they only make up about 2 to 3% of the population. At their height, maybe 10, maybe 8 to 10%. So to say a country is a country that belongs to 8 or 10% of the population, that's just wrong. And second, when you made the statement that you wanted to get a group of people together to go to Liberia and take over Liberia, that's why I said would knock your head off if you tried it. That's why I said that. So don't miss the context of it, because I'm not somebody who come on these platforms and attack African Americans unprovoked. But I will go at you if you start talking crazy. I'm not somebody who a coward or who will kowtow to African Americans just because I don't want to offend other African Americans. If you're talking crazy, I'll talk crazy 10 times. So that's just me. But as it stands, if right now, I'm not calling for any kind of treason or anything, but if somebody overthrew the United States government and they executed Donald Trump's cabinet, right? Almost all of them will be white because that's the power structure. Even though there are black people in this country, you probably won't find more than 2 black persons in that cabinet. So when they overthrew the government, most of the cabinet members happen to be African American because they had a political hegemony over the country, and they stymied the political ambition and aspiration of the majority native groups. So when the coup happened, the people you saw on the poll happened to be majority African Americans because they occupied the cabinet, of the president. So it wasn't that they were targeted, it's just that they were the people in power. So when you don't understand the full context of history and you try to make it seem like we took something from your people, like Donis and I said, bro, my grandfather, I know who my great-grandfather, I know what they did. They're good, they're bad. Those are my ancestors. I take, responsibility, or I take the glory that they, the things that they achieved. If you can point to me any of your ancestors from Mississippi or Arkansas that went to Liberia and left a legacy that your children and yourself can be proud of, hey, I tip my hat off to you. But when you brag about building, you don't know what it means to build a country. Those people were heroes. They did a lot of great things. Those are great African men who built a nation, and we give them props. The hiccup was that they try to stifle and stymie, the majority of the population from having political access, and that was a problem. That's where the hiccup is in that whole thing. It's not that they started the country. It's not that they, started to build an economy. None of those was the issue. The issue was that they try to exclude other people who are 90+% of the population from having political agency in their own land. So that's the issue, and I would never apologize for that. I think if you're 5%, 10% of the population, and you rule for 133 years, and you're coming into the 1970s where things are becoming more modernized and people are becoming more educated and self-aware and conscious, and you think you can still have a grip on them rather than giving them political access but keeping control of your economic, power, you're silly. You're just not thinking forward. Say, you look what we're 10%. We have the economic structure of this country. Let them have the politics, like what the white people did in South Africa. You will survive. You'll be fine. You'll be the hand behind the power.
I understand, Elvis, but I always counter with what happened when Samuel Doe took over.
Well, when Samuel Doe took over for 9 years, from 1980 to 1989, he was a military guy who there was so-called counter coups trying to get him out of power because some of the people there aligned with Gaddafi and he was aligning with Reagan. You had the same Cold War going on, the communists or the Marxists against the capitalists. So he killed two of his own tribal men. Many people don't even understand this. There was a vice president or vice head of state called Thomas Wayson.
Let's get back on topic.
Yeah, let's not go there. But I'm just trying to tell you that it wasn't purely tribal. He killed his own tribal men, people from his own ethnic group. So
well,
when you make that,
he was massacring people in churches.
Yeah, he was a murderous tyrant.
Let's get back on topic. Hello's next. Go ahead.
Right. So lastly, just to get to the topic here, with people saying that they're not African. Look, what does it mean to be African? Like somebody made the point about the black people in India. I think it was M. What does it mean to be African? It means that you come from the continent of Africa. Why don't we call the Caribbeans, Africans, and we call them Caribbean? Because it's the geography. They come from the Caribbeans. They come from that area. So African is about culture. It's about a geographical location. So African Americans say they're not African, fine. They're not African because they're not from Africa. But they're black like myself. We're of the same race. We may not be of the same ethnicity or coming from the same location at present. So that's just my take on the dynasty. I'll pass it.
All right, go ahead. Hello.
Hi, hello, Dynast.
Yes.
I was listening, and I came in for M, but unfortunately he left. Not to have it got him, but just to say my peace of mind. Um, if anyone don't want to claim African, it's fine by me. I am an African, and I live in the UK. Um, I just want to reiterate that there is no single piece of land in Africa that is up for giving away to anyone, even to myself. If I want a land, I would have to fend for it, I would have to buy for it. Maybe M doesn't understand how lands work in Africa. Lands are generationally owned. It's a property that belongs to human beings, individuals, and they pass it on from generation to generation. They don't sell their lands. So even if you want lands, where will the government get the lands? They would have to butcher those people and take their lands to give to you. It's not about the sizes of the lands. These are indigenous people in that land for thousands of years. I am in the UK. I haven't come here asking for anything given to me. Everything I own here, I fought for, I worked for, I obeyed the laws. And I'm not asking for anything outside the laws here. So you do not have the right to ask that Africa give you any land or resources. You don't deserve it. So do not ask. If you want anything anywhere, do the right thing. People come to Africa, maybe follow Dynast, gather some money, save up some money, save yourself some, dignity and respect. Follow him, get to know Africa if you want anything, any land in Africa, and find out how people acquire land in Africa. Don't come on the internet, asking land. I don't even trust someone like you because you are like you want to bulldozer your way, like it's your right. You want to have it by force. Imagine coming to Africa, you would want to wipe us out because of our sins, the sins of our forefathers. You are so angry and you sound like a bitter man. When you come on, you speak so vile about Africans. So now, say your country in America is looking for someone to use to wipe Africans. You will be one of them. That is why Africa will not trust someone like you, They will not trust you. You have shown your true color. You're supposed to be our brother, but uh, uh, um, you have what's that? You look at yourself in the mirror and you say to yourself, you deny who you are. It's not a problem for me. I don't really mind for you to be whoever you want to be. I respect that. But do not cross the line to demand that Africa should give you something when you don't merit it. Anything anyone has in Africa, they merit it. It doesn't matter who, Chinese or whoever, in business. If you want to do business in Africa, respectfully go to Africa and do the right thing respectfully and get what you want. Don't ask. You don't deserve it. It's disrespectful. You don't know how you sound. You sound like a crying wolf baby, asking for breast milk from the mama. That's what you sound like, This is not for anyone else, but to particularly, you get under people's skin when you come out to speak. You're supposed to be educated. You demanding like as if, oh, it's your right because of what they did, they have to give you land. You're always crying for land. Get some money. Most rich Americans don't even ask, they just walk the walk. Dynasty's here. Travel with him. Don't come here crying like a baby. You don't even know what you want. You're so confused. Thank you. Anyone that wants to be African is up to you. You don't want to be African, good luck to you. Thank you so much. Africa, we even want the population to reduce. Do you know how many 1 point something billion people in Africa? Do you know? And they call us shithole countries. Why do you want any land from shithole countries? You say Africans are booty, shitty, whatever, scratchers. Why do you want any land from Africa? Why? A place you say there are mud houses, there are monkeys, they live on trees. Oh, yeah, I got mirror. Yeah, I got this. Don't come to Africa. Please, you're not welcomed. Don't come. Unless you humble yourself. We don't want someone with your mentality to come and pollute the mindset of our children that we should be fighting amongst ourselves. Division is a disease. We don't want such divisions. We don't want such confusionists. You need to know what you want. You want to be an African, try and repent and, recount your steps and listen to Dinas. Maybe in your own quiet time, call Dinas one-to-one and ask him more about Africa and learn before it's too late for you. I really feel sorry for you. Thank you. I have to go now. Thank you very
Janice,
much.
can I talk? And well, hello. Will you stay up? Can I ask you a couple of questions, if you don't mind? And I'm so happy to have more females on the panel. Hello, are you able to stay?
No, she left. No, she's still here. Hold on. Is she still here? Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, please. Yes, please. I will stay just for you. Just, just for you.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm hearing
Yes,
an
please.
echo.
Yes, please. I will stay just for you. Just, just for you.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm
hearing an echo.
Hey, hello. You got to turn off the playback. Hello, or somebody needs to turn off the playback.
I will stay just for you. Just, just for you.
okay. All right.
Hey, hello. You got to. Somebody needs to turn off their playback.
I think that's better.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Fine.
Hello. I just have a question for you because in M's defense, I think he is thinking about the American corporate investment model. Okay.
Come on. Don't get this man too much.
Okay,
Stop,
no.
Miss Sister. Stop it. Stop.
Are you talking to
Stop.
me? You want me to
Yes,
stop?
the corporate. Everybody thinking about no corporate investment model. Stop it.
Wait a minute now. Come on. Can I finish?
Go ahead. Well, come on.
You're in the
Corporate
United
investment
States.
model.
Wait a minute. In his defense, and let's have a conversation, okay? And you can debunk it, but let's have a thought experiment. Can we do that, Dynast?
Go ahead.
Okay. Now, in the United States, many cities will land lease property to companies and corporations for them to develop that piece of property in exchange for them coming into the neighborhood and bringing jobs. Now, M didn't say that. Just to be clear.
Well, Miss Sister, if I can interject real quick, M is very clear that he wants his own sovereign land. So that
Yeah,
corporate
he did.
model,
Okay. Yeah, I'm just being clear. M did not say that he wanted his own sovereign land. But I just want to ask, hello, if there was a situation where a multinational corporation or a group of private FBA investors came to an African country and said, we would like to enter into a land lease agreement and build the land, offer jobs, and help develop this area, would that be okay?
Absolutely, ma'am. It will be okay because if you go to Ghana, there are a lot of Black Americans already there doing amazing stuff. We have a lot of foreigners in Africa and they are gaining from it. It's like vice versa. You have to gain, isn't it? You're not just helping Africans, you're helping yourself as well because you're making money. It's a business. So anyone that wants to do that in Africa, yes, there are people investing. If you have money and you speak to the government, absolutely you can do business, but you have to do it the right way. You need to speak to diners because there are a lot of foreigners, Black Americans that are doing amazing stuff as business in Africa, and that's what I want. Not the noise about delineation that FBA. If they want, anyone wants to be FBA, fine. But people have to progress in life and make their lives better. Bickering on the internet is so childish. Speak to Dynast, Ma. I know you're a very matured person. I always like to respect you because in Africa we are brought up to respect matured people. I will never be rude to you, but M does, get on my skin the way he speaks sometimes. He's supposed to be a matured man. He needs to learn. Maybe he has things to learn anyways. Yes, please, ma'am, that is possible. That is absolutely possible. But for someone to keep asking like he deserves it because of what happened with the slavery and all that, so we owe him. Like he even talked about going to take over something. The mindset, the audacity, the effrontery. No one asked. You can't demand. Where I am here, I work hard. I don't demand. I just do my job. I fit in and do what I got to do lawfully. That's it. You don't come to someone's land, come all the way from America and then bamboozle your way to Africa and demanding, saying this on the social media, the governments, you don't know who is listening to him. He thinks he's faceless. We are not faceless. People can be traced. That's why it's good for people to be mindful of what they say online. We have to be educative because once we go, whatever we say on the internet will remain there. Our young people will listen to them. Let us teach them something that is useful. Even if there's going to be FBA, I would respect that. If that's what Black Americans want, because they deserve the best where they live. That is their land. They built where they are now. No one is disputing that. I, as an African, I would want people that look like myself to have the best of life wherever they are. I wish them the best. I wish them the best. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. But when someone keeps bickering as if I am their problem, someone like myself, like I always say, I've never ever met a Black American in my entire life. I've never seen one to one except on TV. But I've seen Europeans, you know, maybe because maybe lately the Black Americans are coming over. Before they didn't used to because of all these propagandas and stuff like that. But it's good for at least once in a lifetime a Black American to touch African soil and then learn by yourselves and have your own experiences, not whatever that is flying about on the internet, because there are a lot of information, misinformation until you get to the root. It's like someone telling you don't go to that tree, but they have never been to that tree. They don't know what that tree looks like. It's a mango tree. When you get there at the bottom of the tree, then you pick the mango, then you can tell others what you have seen. Otherwise, You don't have that right to describe that, Mango. Thank you.
Hello, thank you for coming back up and sharing that information with me.
Thank you, Ma.
All right, guys, hit the like button. Also, make sure you go to documentary.searchforwho.com, documentary.searchforwho.com, and stream the documentary. And go to documentary. There we go. Documentary.searchforwho.com and stream the documentary. Let's read the super chats. Oswald Bates, thank you for the €6. Villamar Bercero Enrique, DNA studies on the origin of the Olmecs, Mexican archaeology, number 150, pages 40 through 41. Mysterious music, 2 joules for 100. Erude Boy, 2 joules for 100. Mysterious music, 100 joules Sunday. Humble President's 20 joules party hat. I still don't know what these joules are for, but hey, we gonna count it all joy. I appreciate it. Guys, links in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the documentary, you're more than welcome to call in and add to the documentary. Well, buy the documentary, but if you want to add to the chat, if you want to join the panel, click on the link, call in. Link is in the chat room. Again, if you want to add to the conversation, that's what I meant to say. Click on the link and you're more than welcome to call in. I leave for Nigeria on Saturday, so I'm looking forward to it. So I'll be back with you guys on Sunday. Well, we'll go live tomorrow. Then Saturday morning, I got an early morning flight to catch. Then Sunday, we'll go live from Niger. You guys, we'll go live from Niger. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. Go ahead, hit the like button, all that good stuff. I don't know why I pulled that up. The link's in the chat room. If you're going to call in, you're more than welcome to add to the conversation. Dizali, go ahead if you want to add something.
Oh no, I don't have anything to add right now. The conversation has strayed a little bit, but I don't have anything to add.
Okay. Miss Sisters, what do you huh?
Yeah, I got a bounce.
Okay, all right. Miss Sisters, how do you feel about this new urge to be Native American as far as Black folks? What are your thoughts about that, Miss Sisters, if you don't mind?
I don't know. I'm not quite sure what to think about it. Because people can, people can think, they can believe what they want, even if I disagree with them. However, there are Black Americans who do have some kind of Native American ancestry in their family tree. Now, I'm oversharing here a little bit. On my grandfather's side of the family, my great grandmother, there is a family lore that she was Cherokee.
Keyword lore.
And I'm about to explain that. And that's why I use the word lore. And a family member contacted the Cherokee headquarters to try and confirm it. And this was years ago. And they wrote her back and said that that no records were available. And so we weren't sure what that meant. Was there no records in existence, or they were not making the records that they had available? So our family, we have we do not celebrate any Cherokee traditions. We just, that was just information that had been passed down over the years through my family. It could not be confirmed, but there are many Black Americans who also were told that by family members. So I don't know what to tell you. Right now I have no direct evidence, so I just say no, but I just share what happened in our family. That's all I can tell you, Dynast.
Okay.
Can I ask for this, ma'am?
And Dizella, like your volume, like you went out again, like you. I don't know if you're on Bluetooth or.
I'm listening. I'm here.
No, that's not it.
There you go. You sound better now. Go ahead.
You know?
Yeah, go ahead.
No. Oh, shoot.
We hear you. Go ahead. We hear you.
Here I am. Check.
Go ahead. We hear you.
Oh, all right. All right. Yeah, I wanted to ask her this. Is she aware of, and I don't know how much you are on social media or not, but are you aware, ma'am? I can't see her name, but I wanted to ask her, is she aware? Oh, thank you. Are you aware of the movement, the cult-like movement that is going on now, and it's growing bigger and larger and larger and larger, of Black Americans who are denouncing any connection to Africa in favor of saying that they are Indians? Have you seen that? What's your feeling on that movement?
You know what? I listened to Tariq Nasheed's podcast, and some of his callers, they do call in and they say, I have no African in my family. There are people calling in saying that, and according to them, and they have documents to show that they have no African ancestry. I haven't seen the documents, but I am familiar with the claim.
Let me ask this. So, and I'm familiar with that tactic of saying, look, I've done my genealogy and I haven't found one African. Now, those people, I suppose they're looking for documents, birth certificates, etc., going back to the 1800s, 1700s, that would label someone as being African. Is that intellectually honest to even expect to find that? More than likely, they would find something saying Negro. And I don't think that it's a large leap for us to understand that a Negro, in perhaps 99% of instances, would be the actual African. So I think that they're a little bit intellectually dishonest when they say that, when they state that. What's your thoughts on that, man?
You know what? Just popping up in my head right now, and the racial classification systems over the years, anyone with non-white blood was classified as Negro or considered Negro. The exception might be the Asians, but and it differed by region, but please don't take that for gospel. But yeah, so we just can't assume that just because a vital record says Negro, that we can conclude that it means African.
Okay. All right. So let's go with that take. That let's say that with the exception of Asians, Negro could have meant any other group that happened to be here. So if they reclassified Indians as Negro, it's like we would not have any more Indians. If you get what I'm saying. If they reclassified Indians as Negro, that would basically be the end of Indians, right? I mean, we wouldn't have it. And usually when they did that, it was due to admixture. If we're going to be accurate with it. They were not reclassifying, pure-blooded Indians as Negro. So I don't have any problem with them classifying a Negro and Indian mix as, Negro. But we have to be clear that they were not doing that to the pure-blooded Indians. And that's what a lot of the people who say they have no African admixture, that's what they're trying to allude to. You know, they have no African admixture. They're pure-blooded Indians. That's what they're trying to say.
Yeah,
and that's not accurate.
yeah, I've heard callers on Tariq's show say that they have no African ancestry. I'm trying to recall if any of them said that they were full-blooded Indian.
Well, how come you never see them on the res with their people? If you're an Indian, how come you never see you guys on the res with your people?
What do you mean the rest of your people?
The reservations, like the reservations, like them getting their status, you know, like all these black so-called ain't African, I'm Indian. Like there's treaties with Native Americans where, I mean, if you could truly document that you're Native American, you just, I mean, there you go.
Yeah. As I said, I'm not an expert in this area, so.
Hello to everyone, by the way.
Yeah,
I would ask a question if I could.
Well, no, actually, it's Charlie's turn. Go ahead, Charlie.
All right.
No, I'm just listening. I just don't like Tariq's talk. I don't like him denigrating Africans. I don't like him mocking people in Africa who don't have enough to eat. I don't like him talking about Sally Struthers. I don't like him talking about third world and shitholes. I just don't like that. I don't like FBAs. I have no problem with Black Americans. I don't like FBAs. That's it. That's all I want to. That's what I think. Simple as that. I'm Black British, by the way. Well, I'm a Black person living in Britain, but I'm of Nigerian origin. So that's it. But I'm just listening. So carry on. Hello?
All right, go ahead,
All right, thank you, sir. My question is, can anybody explain how Black Wall Street ended up in Tulsa, Oklahoma?
Go ahead, tell us why.
Oh, you want me to tell you?
Yeah, tell me.
You had something, and somebody probably could fact check. You had two main migrations that happened around the War 1812, and when Andrew Jackson signed the Indian Removal Act. You had the Trail of Tears that happened in the South. In the North, it was called the Trail of Death. It happened in Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Montana, the upper region of the Midwest, pretty much. And in the Trail of Death, they told the people they had to walk to Kansas. They evicted everybody off their land and walked west of the Mississippi River. And west of the Mississippi River is Oklahoma. In the South, they did the same thing. They had to walk west of the Mississippi River, which was Oklahoma. But it was three caveats. They could have chose to be citizens up north. You had the free blacks up north. They could have assimilated, or they could have been removed from the land, or they could have been slaves. That was what the Congress put in there. I think Andrew Jackson put that in there because I don't think he wanted them to lose their land, but Congress wanted them to lose everything because they had a doctrine called the Manifest Destiny, which they wanted to conquer the entire United States west of the 13 colonies. So many of the people ended up in Oklahoma. It's just a coincidence. A lot of black people ended up there and started this prosperous town around the same time, but nobody wants to explain how they got there in the middle of Oklahoma. You built this railroads and all of these buildings and all of these city blocks that was eventually destroyed, wiped out. It's like trying to burn the evidence. But that's all I want to say. Like, can anybody explain, other than what I just said, how did the black people get Tulsa, Oklahoma?
I thought we all knew how they got there. This may not be all of them, but many of them chose to walk with their Indian masters or with their Indian wives, Indian husbands. They were intermixed with the Indians.
You know, in Chicago, in Illinois, there was no slavery, right? So how did they cast Indian masters? when they walk from Chicago to Oklahoma?
I'm not referring to what you just said, the trail of death. I would have to research that. So maybe those black people chose to move down there and they just like those Indian women, you know, but those are black people mixed with Indians.
If I can interject, there was
Yes.
slavery in Illinois, the greater Illinois area in Chicago before it was banned. I mean, come on, Em.
It wasn't supposed to be. It was considered. That's what the whole premise of Dred Scott case was. The law was if a slave touched free land, they were supposed to be set free.
Are you familiar with the Louisiana Purchase?
Yes, that's how they got the entire region, because
right. So
Napoleon sold it to.
So the French had slaves in that area.
Napoleon sold the land to Thomas Jefferson, but when America got the land, it was considered a free state, and then slavery was abolished in those particular states. You saying that it was grandfathered in? That's what you're saying?
No. What I'm saying is you said there was no slavery. There was slavery.
I'm talking about in Illinois during the time of America when they had the Trail of Death. That was after the purchase.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
But to clarify, so we do understand how black people got there, right? We're clear on that now, right? There were black people who went as slaves, black people who were married to Indians, and let's say that there were people from other areas who just flocked there, like, hey, there might be opportunity there. And they just intermingled with the Indians that were sent there. That's not hard at all to understand what happened there.
Can I ask you a question?
Who? Ask who?
The person who just spoke. Can I ask him a question?
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure whether this has been brought up, but what do you think of the new Black Panther film, Black Panther 3, being played by a British Nigerian? What do you think of that?
He's Sierra Leone. He's Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leonean, sorry. What do you think of that? The new Black Panther film 3 being played by a British actor of African.
Me personally?
Yeah, I'm just asking your opinion.
Yeah, me personally, I don't care. Long as the movie's good. I'm not homophobic. I'm not tribal. I don't care what black man get it.
Okay.
Me personally.
Okay. All right. Just asking. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead. It's just that I've seen a lot of disagreements by Black Americans, and they don't seem to like it. So I was just interested.
Yeah, same here. And I've been talking to some black people online who have a problem with it, and I'm like, look, it's just another black man. He happens to be over in Europe. You know, he's of British stock, but he's like our people. And the other contention they had was that I guess he's supposed to be LGBTQ. I don't have any problem with it personally. Yeah, man. I see pictures of him hooked up.
I didn't know that.
I see pictures of him hooked up with his white husband. So
okay.
Long as he can act, long as he can fight, long as he make the movie decent.
Okay.
I'll forget about that.
Hey, if I could add something, if you want, if I could.
Go on.
From Black American perspective, we have really fought and scraped and crawled to get these roles and to get our position in Hollywood, like independent directors and movie makers for decades. And it's like we looking at the British actors things being handed to them, and I don't know if anybody want to admit it, but we really don't respect nepotism and people just getting things handed to them, especially knowing that you had to put in so much work, then somebody else walk in and just get something handed to them. Especially we don't feel like we see their resume, we don't see their body of work. They just pop up out of nowhere and start getting all of these roles.
But
we feel a certain type.
These are classically trained actors, and they've been doing theatre from the age of 5. A lot of Black Americans, and I'm not being disrespectful, a lot of them are not classically trained. So sometimes these British actors, they have a
There you
greater
go.
range.
I mean, we would respect him if it came up like Idris Elba. He started off with The Wire. We kind of saw his progression, so nobody really have a problem with him because we saw him come up. And so all the roles he got was based on his previous work. He did such a good job in The Wire that he started getting other roles.
How about? But hold on. But see, this is the problem I have with people like you. So how about you and the Native American mound builders, and there's pyramids in the Grand Canyon, and we FBA. How about you guys put your own money up, build your own studios, and hire other FBA, and just be done with it?
That's what we've been doing for the last several decades since Hollywood started. We always had our own separate industry, but now it hit its precipice. We just start seeing these British actors just pop up out of nowhere, getting unfair amount of the roles.
But who's hiring them? Who cuts
It's
the
the
check?
Caucasians, of course.
Okay, so then so you're upset that the Caucasians aren't giving you a job,
I mean, and not as far as a job, but like a lot of these roles are like prominent roles, like Harriet Tubman and Fred
So are
Hampton.
you upset that the white folks who are putting the money up that you're not putting up are giving the roles to black?
It's just another form of discrimination, but they just using blackface to do it.
Put your money up, man.
I mean, we've been putting up money for decades, putting these movies together, and it's like we just running in circles like a hamster.
Name the movies. Name the movies.
Do the Right Thing. What's he call it?
Who funded Do the Right Thing?
Wasn't it? Well, I don't know who funded it, but I know the director was Spike Lee. He put a lot of movies out. Better Blues, Devil in a Blue Dress. Most of these movies that Denzel Washington was in his beginning of his career was by black directors. Samuel Jackson, Halle Berry, and then even the lady that was included.
So
started off with more money.
Universal Pictures funded Do the Right Thing. Who owns
I mean, it was a black movie by director Spike Lee.
I just, I love having these shows. I don't mind. But hold on, Charlie, I'm speaking. I love having these shows. I don't mind. But I will never ever let my son listen to people like you. Oh my God, it would be all doom and gloom. I don't know how the youth could just listen to FBA because it's all doom and gloom. We can't. The white man's holding his back. Now the African is holding his back. It's just all just doom and gloom. And
I'm saying
we can't. It's such a barrier. Do you have kids, Em?
I'm saying this though.
Em, do you have kids?
No, I'm saying this though. Let me say this though. When Patty McDaniel won the Oscar, I think for Going with the Wind, do you know she couldn't sit in the audience? She had to sit in the back to accept. She couldn't even accept the Oscar because they had segregation.
You just all over the place, just spitting stuff out now.
I'm just mentioning what we had to go through in this industry for decades.
We know, but whoever cuts the check makes the rules.
That's true, but we had to knock down a lot of doors, and now all of a sudden,
well, that's great. That's that. Okay, so what are you gonna do, Em?
What I'm saying is, all of a sudden, all of these people come in talking about they got these roles.
What are you going to do?
What I'm going to do about it? You say?
Right.
First of all, I gotta make my message clear.
But if you're not putting up any dough, what are you going to do?
What I'm trying to say is this, right? Can you acknowledge, like, if even in the Dogon tradition, the Yoruba tradition, they have a history of honoring their ancestors and their history, right? It's in our culture. So when these people come here and get these roles, they don't even acknowledge the struggles that had to get that led to that. Even
the white men and white women, Jewish men and Jewish women are the ones who are cutting the checks. Do
you, Donis, do you think if we still had Jim Crow, they'd be having roles in America?
Probably
they wouldn't
not,
be in America. They wouldn't even come here.
But you need to take that up with MLK Jr.
I mean, it was more than just him. It was millions of people marching to end that segregation.
I understand.
But if it wasn't for that,
but whatever deal they made under the table to be considered a minority instead of doing, Clyde Anderson talks about this. Whatever deal they had where they decided to group us all as minorities in the name of civil rights instead of doing specifically with doing something specifically for black people, that's in the past, bro.
What I'm saying is, if it wasn't for that, we would still have segregated lunch counters. All these Africans wouldn't be downtown.
I understand that. I understand that, but
they are beneficiaries of that.
I understand that, but again, with MLK Jr., and my sister, she could correct me, sat down, I think, with Lyndon B. Johnson. All right. This is what they negotiated. Hard stop.
It put an end to Jim Crow segregation. You don't think that's
It
valuable?
it did him, but I mean, this is what they saying, talk about Africans, y'all wouldn't have this job, it wasn't for us. That's water under the bridge now, buddy.
I mean, we don't have to say that, but as far as like them acknowledging that don't cost any type of money. It's just an ego thing.
So do you want the new Black Panther to come to Chicago and say, "Oh my God, Black Americans, I wouldn't have this job if it wasn't for you. Oh my God," and prostrate? Is that what you want?
I don't want anything because I might not even watch the movie because I didn't like the last movie with that aspect. So as far as who he chose, like it just shows it's a agenda. Obviously, it's obviously they want these conversations. They want to be want us to be divided against British actors and blame them, even though they're.
I'm not divided with them.
I'm saying
hey, they got the role.
But that's the agenda. What they want. They want the Black Americans to get upset and start blaming Africans.
Whose fault is that? It's easy. You want to know?
Oh yeah. I appreciate Dinah's interacting more, in his own show.
But I'm just saying. I mean, the solution is to say, you know what? I am tired of these Black Brits getting the roles that the white people are gonna check for. So therefore,
stop watching.
We're gonna get our money up, and we're gonna build and do our own Black Panther or whatever. That's what it is. Go ahead, Miss Sisters.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I just wanted to say something to Mr. M. You do realize that a lot of these multinational corporations, the movie industry, and other companies, they are going global. It's a marketing or capitalist decision because they can no longer reap enough of the profits that they need, just by marketing a movie here in the United States only. Would you agree to that?
I'll agree to that.
Yeah. So I am quite sure that there were other talented Black American actors, but there were other factors that they had to weigh. They have to reach an international audience.
Do you not agree that Black Americans is the most marketed asset on earth?
But that's because the English language is the dominant language on the planet.
So why wouldn't you choose a Black American who's the most valuable asset on earth?
What do you think about Black Americans playing African roles? Which there's been many. There's been many Black Americans who played African roles. Beyonce and James Earl Jones were the voices of Nala and Mufasa in The Lion King. Morgan Freeman played.
The Lion King is a cartoon.
Morgan Freeman played Nelson Mandela. Jennifer Hudson played Winnie Mandela. Forrest Whitaker played Idi Amin. Denzel Washington got a start with Steve Biko. It's just on and on.
Hold on. Are you from South Africa? Are you from Uganda?
I'm from Nigeria.
So what did that got to do with you? Nelson Mandela, he's from South Africa.
No, but what I'm saying, I'm African.
I mean, he's from South Africa. You from Nigeria.
But you don't have a problem when Africans.
It's two different countries.
No, but what I'm saying is you don't seem to have any problem when Black.
Idi Amin was the president of Uganda, not Nigeria.
Well, Africa's a continent. America's a continent, isn't it? So, But my point is, why don't you have a problem when Black Americans play Africans?
I mean, they play particular Africans. South Africa president, and we helped them get out of apartheid. Uganda. That's not Nigeria, but I wouldn't have a problem with a Nigerian playing somebody like these are different. Y'all always brag about how y'all are different countries and whatnot. But how you gonna try to claim somebody else's country?
Wait there. I just asked, do you have a problem when Black Americans play Africans?
I think Will Smith played a Nigerian doctor in Concussion, if I'm not mistaken.
Michael B. Jordan is going to play Mansa Musa.
He's a Malian king.
Yeah, in Ryan Coogler's next movie. You don't see Africans shouting and screaming about that.
Because you're not from Mali.
No, but what I'm saying, no African.
That's your country.
No, but what I'm saying is no African is complaining about Mansa Musa
So you telling
playing.
me it's Pan-African over there? Everybody all together? That what you telling me?
No, but you're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm saying Africans don't have an issue when Black Americans play Africans, but Black Americans have an issue when Africans play Black Americans.
I would say we would look at if Ugandans were upset about Idi Amin being played by Forrest Whitaker, or South Africans being upset about
Not really. Not
Forrest
really.
Whitaker,
Not
not like
really.
somebody from Tanzania who has nothing to do with it.
Not really. Not really. Not to
Let
the
me
same
ask this.
extent.
Let me
Not
ask
really.
this. We do understand that the world is global now. You know, this not the 19th, 20th century. You know, people move around the, economy global, a lot of the industries global. We don't have to go by this 19th century standard of, hey, you know, I must have someone from Florida play as such and such. No, it doesn't work like that anymore. I see that we brought our tribal ways from Africa to here, and while Africa is moving away from tribalism, it seems like we're trying to embrace it late in the 21st century. That tribalism stuff's gone. Well,
but my point is,
it should be gone.
Why are you insecure?
South Africa would disagree with you.
But my point is, why are you insecure? Black Americans are the face of Black people globally. All the people who I listen to, all the people who I was brought up with were Black Americans. Every single one. From Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X. I probably know your history just as good as you. You are the face of Black people globally. So I don't get this. I don't understand the insecurity. I don't get it. I don't understand it. You know? All my heroes I grew up with were Black Americans. All of them. Well, most of them. You know? But I don't understand. Because a lot of these black British actors, they train harder. That's why by the time you first see an Idris Elba, a Cynthia Erivo, a Jackie Chan, they're in the mid-30s. They're not 21. So that's because these people have been training hard. You know what I mean? I mean, do you know what's his name? Oh, what's that guy's name who done Star Wars? The black guy in Star Wars, the black British actor in Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I know who you are talking about.
Yeah. He still does runs in British theatre for peanuts for 3 months of a year. Can you imagine Michael B. Jordan or Angela Bassett doing a run in theatre for 3 months where they get paid peanuts? I cannot imagine it. What I'm saying is that Black British actors really work at their craft. I mean, can you think of a Black American actor who can do a good British accent?
You have a very good point, a very valid point, because over here we got into the habit, and it became kind of faddish for our film directors to hire rappers and entertainers and athletes.
And guys who are handsome and pretty. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just because they had a certain look and a certain reputation, and I think that kind of damaged our film market. And I guess the British did not have that. They're still going to acting school since the age of 5, and they have a very wide, variety. While because I was wondering, who were they going to get to play the Black Panther? I'm really trying to think of our young Black actors here, and I keep coming up with people who jumped the line just because they used to be a rapper. They were trying to get Sticky Fingers to play Blade. What? What?
Yeah. But I think you guys, maybe because you're in America, I don't think you guys realize how looked up to in places like Britain and places like, around the world. I really don't think you understand how looked up to you are. I'm not trying to kiss your ass. I'm not trying to kiss ass. I'm just saying, you
You know,
I understand.
yeah.
I'm aware, but I'm also I also know why Black people in other regions can look up to us. It's because the power of our media here. See, I say things like that when I want to humble FBA, ADOS, who talk about we're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Our media puts us in the face of other people worldwide. That's why they get to see us and want to copy our style. It's those satellites that's up in space and puts us in everyone else's face.
Sorry, and because the English language is the dominant language on the planet. I mean, if you don't sing in English, you're gonna have a very tough. I can't think apart from maybe Burna Boy, Pavarotti. I can't think of any artist who has made global impact in music that doesn't sing in English. So you have the advantage of that. You also have the advantage that you have you have your Universal Music Group, you have your Hollywood, you have you're the entertainment capital of the world, really. So you have that advantage. Not that it's easy to be famous, but and also I think the biggest thing is no other country, as you just said, pushes its transport its media as relentlessly as America does around the globe. You're everywhere.
Yeah. Because I get into these discussions with these pretendians and FBA and ADOS, and they like to harp upon how come Africa doesn't have a Michael Jackson? How come Africa doesn't have a Michael Jordan? How come Africa doesn't have a Beyonce? First of all, they don't have the media push that we have here, so we wouldn't know if they did anyway, because we are very self-centered here. So we would. I'm pretty sure that Africa has some very big artists.
Of course.
It's a billion people there, so their artists might be doing better than the artists here. You know what I'm saying?
But you got to look at this. We were able to successfully develop a subculture separate from white America and grow that culture. And a lot of that culture came from our survival from slavery, like the blues, and we used to play that on the plantation to get us through the day, or our comedy, dancing, or the one day we get to express ourselves. That became a subculture. We had the chitlin circuits. We had our like a James Brown. You ever saw the James Brown movie with Chadwick Boseman? How they had their own networks of clubs where they could go and entertain and perform and build a whole industry. And the mainstream just pretty much adopted that. We had our own radio stations, so our culture was able to grow and fester. And you just see like the end results of that, like they promoting it all over the world. But that was something that was homegrown. Segregation was our ally, I should say. It allowed us to develop that for decades.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
But just understand that it's desegregation that allowed those people to make those millions and allowed them to get in the face of millions and billions of people.
I think if I can make one criticism, I do think some FBAs have what is called main character syndrome. Where they believe that they're the main characters in everything. I think that can be a bit of a problem, if you know what I mean.
I agree. I know it. I see it.
All right, guys, let me pass the mic to Pharaoh. Then after Pharaoh is Dave.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, peace. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can I be heard?
Yeah, we hear
you. Peace to the panel. Concerning the subject. Now, this is going to offend some of my colleagues and social historians, but I just I gotta say it. We the mainstream authorities and the modern society in general give the green light to these Abo pretendians to make up their own history. I mean, the way history is being told today it is what I would call modern day ancient history. not ancient history. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I used to believe in this. You know, I used to be on EgyptSearch.com. You know, I used to discuss these topics with with my friends and colleagues, and then one day I just woke up and finally said, "No, man, this is not right." I mean, like, okay, for example, okay, when you go on AI or Google and you ask about Native American history, it'll say something like Native American history is 14,000 years old, 10,000 years old, you know, and you have all these, groups out here, and even which mainly stems from college, university, college academia, to make up this new method of history, saying that DNA tests history goes back 10,000 years ago, 100,000 years ago, and this stuff is just now being wrote down today in the modern age, and that's a problem. There is no written historical record that goes back 10,000 years. The oldest historical record that we know of, the oldest realistic historical record, goes back only 5,000 years during 3000 BCE, and that is the Narmer's palette found in Egypt. It was the Narmer's palette. It's the first documented history ever of the first king and founder of Egypt, and that is what I call real history. Okay, but these Native Americans, these Abos.
So wait there. Are you saying history only goes back 3,000 years?
Yes. No, 5,000 years. 3,000 BCE. That's I'm saying real documented history goes back that time. You know, and I can see why. I can understand why Chaotic Truth said what he said yesterday. He said sub-Saharan Africans have no history, because truth be told, a lot of this stuff is made up. It's DNA studies that speaks of 100,000-year-old migrations, and history goes back 10,000 years. I mean, it's this stuff. It's the DNA is not saying this stuff. It is the geneticists. It is the modern day authority who is saying this stuff.
So how do you explain archaeology? How do you explain ancient DNA? How do you explain population genetics? Genetics? How do you explain all that? How do you explain?
See. Okay. The thing is, the thing you have to ask yourself is, how does some bones and some saliva turns into a text? Can you look at a bone and look at some spit or saliva and translate that into a text? Be honest with yourself.
So your argument with that, let me get this. You're saying that history. You're saying history only goes back 5,000 years. Is that what you're saying?
To be honest, real history. But what I'm saying is, these claims of 10,000-year-old, 5,000-year-old migrations, it's not coming from any bones. It's not coming from any spit or saliva. It is coming from. Listen. It is coming from the imagination of the modern day writer and the modern day geneticist. That's where it's coming from. This is why a lot of these claims are ridiculous. Like the real history that is documented, the real history of Egypt, Kush, Assyria, Persia, Greece, Rome. Okay, that history is entirely separate from this fake Native American Afro-Pretendian history. It cannot be compared to that history. That history, ancient historians have wrote about it. There are still monuments and inscriptions in those lands, and that history have been written about and told about thousands of years ago, compared to all this fake, made up fantasies that is being made up today. And like, and these empires, ancient Egypt, Syria, Persia, Greece, and Rome, this is where organized military started. Okay, and this is why. But the Native Americans had no knowledge of organized military. This is why the white Europeans was able to come over here and crush and defeat the Native Americans, because they had no knowledge of organized military, and this organized military was practiced in Africa and in the Middle East, Greece, and Rome for thousands of years. So spare me with all this fake made up history that has nothing to do with us. Okay, this stuff is it cannot compare. There is no kings list of some Native American kings. What movie are you going to make about a black Native American Indian king? There are none. It's made up.
Do you believe black people were in America before colonization? Do you believe?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I believe black people. I believe maybe there could have been dark skinned people, but not black people, like black people from Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, but they were probably dark skinned people with long straight hair. Okay. But no Negroid or Ethiopian type black people. No, I don't believe that. Yeah, I believe it's all made up.
Okay, because that is the core belief of FBAs, that they are indigenous to America and that they were in America before colonization, before Columbus. Okay, I hear you.
Yeah, and I blame it on this this modern day college history textbook. You know, college professors. I blame it all on them, because this is what this gives the abos the green light. You know, they can say anything. They say, "Oh, we got a history that go back 20,000 years, 10,000 years," and it's just a bunch of made up nonsense. That's all it is. Okay. And like, and even the white Christians who conquered America and took America, they honored and venerated these ancient kings in Egypt, Assyria, Babylon, Persia, Greece, and Rome. Okay, they had no respect for any Native Americans. They looked down on Native Americans. They said these people are weak. We can conquer them easy. And they said that they conquered a million or something, a whole nation of Native Americans with just 100 men. Okay,
and how
they never did that to Africa.
Okay.
Hold on. You telling me colonialism never happened?
Colonialism?
That wasn't a conquest of Africa?
Yeah, but
King Leopold.
Oh, okay, yeah. Colonialism happened, but there was never a mass genocide in Africa like
King Leopold didn't genocide in Congo. What are you talking about?
Because the Africans fought back.
Yes,
they fought back. That's why the white man was never able to accomplish his.
We got to stop teaching fake false fallacy. We know good and well King Leopold did a genocide in Congo.
No, he didn't, because they still there. If he committed a genocide, there would be no black people in.
We already know Rhodesia, Cecil Rhodes and the Dutch did a genocide in South Africa. What are you talking about?
No. They did not do
it. It didn't happen. You denying history.
It all wrong. You got it all wrong. They did. They never.
There was no dividing of Africa. There was no colonization of Africa.
But they got kicked out. Okay, and the black people in Congo, they're still there. They didn't get wiped out. They didn't get wiped out and get their land stolen from them like the Native Americans did. They're still there.
What are you talking about? They had control of Africa until like the 1960s when they voluntarily left.
Did Adolf Hitler commit a genocide against the Jews?
We're not talking about them.
Okay.
Yeah, my according to that, no, he didn't.
He just say America was conquered and they did all of this to us and they didn't do it to Africa. I'm like, that's false because they did colonize Africa and they did do some genocides
because
in Africa.
Africa still has black presidents.
You can't deny history.
The black population is still the majority in Africa.
Because of Kwame Nkrumah. When he came back to Africa, he had the liberation movement. What you talking about? He came to America, got educated. He came back with Pan-Africanism.
The Africans.
And then they had the liberation movement after Kwame Nkrumah came back. Before that, they was colonized. It was a whole, Africa was mostly colonized.
No.
Before Kwame Nkrumah came back from America.
No, you don't, bro. That's not historical. You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
You do realize
it ain't got nothing to do with Africans still being there.
You do realize that genocide is just the attempt to destroy a people. That's all it is, really.
Hey guys, let me read these super chats. I gotta pass the mic today. But Juan Line 1104, thank you for the 720 Canadian dollars. Proactive payment to shut M the H up. We don't need no FBA mumbo jumbo tonight. I mean, for y'all wanted me to shut M up. Y'all are very cheap. Okay, like it needs to be a number where M will be like, you know what, Dynasty, I understand. Like, okay, but thank you for the super chat. Pay 5602. Thank you for $2 holla. What about LeBron James' son or Will Smith kids? Go ahead, Dave.
What's up, everybody on the panel? What's up, Dynast? And big up to everybody, man. It's been actually like a real good conversation and all that tonight. And just my question, right? If America,
are you from the UK?
Yeah.
Oh, another UK brother.
Yeah. But I'm from down south in that though. I'm from down south now. I know you from up north.
Yeah, look from north. Liverpool, home of the Beatles.
Oh, mate. And for the rest of you lot out there, I will just say this, right? Because the majority of black people in the UK, like me, are from London. So to be out here and to hear a brother from up north, like, I'll be honest with you, I got a lot of people that have never met nobody from up there, bro. Like, that's sick, man.
Yeah,
Big up to you guys up there.
Liverpool has the oldest black population in Europe.
Yeah, there was a lot, especially from like actually around like slavery times because of like the ports and all that type of stuff. So there's always been a community up there, and there's always been like this thing like everyone kind of knows like the legends of like the Liverpool black people because like they be taking shit up north, but like they be fighting like nobody's business. Like I think a great example, if anybody actually wants to know, you look up a ex-boxer called Tony Bellew. If you don't know, he was the guy who was in the first Creed movie as Michael B. Jordan's like opposition. Yo, he's a perfect example because them lot up there be fighting over like they be fighting. You know what I mean? Like you don't go up there and be talking shit. Like you know what I mean? Like something bad gonna happen to you. But
this is an American podcast, so we don't want to talk too much about.
Oh yeah. My bad. Let me get back to my question there. So obviously, like in the UK. A lot of like our official paperwork or identification or whatever has both racial and ethnic like identifiers. So for me, what I was going to ask is, if America did the same thing, do you think that like the kind of Aboriginal kind of movement would like stop? Do you think like it wouldn't make a difference? Like, I just want to know because I feel like if that goes down, potentially maybe the attention goes towards other things. But yeah, what do you guys think?
Hello?
You said something about if they had a system to do what? I kind of missed it.
So if they like, if on the paperwork it didn't say like just your race, it said like your ethnic group as well. So it say like FBA or Black American or African American or whatever, or like it might say like Black, but then it might say Nigerian or Haitian or Jamaican. Like that's what I'm saying. Like if that happens, do people still think like people still kind of be pushing heavy on the whole like kind of like we ain't African movement thing? If that happens, do you think like it will still be a thing, or do you think people just like not care no more?
I think the next census already did that, but it hasn't happened. I think the 2030 census, they kind of separated people based on their ethnicity and countries of origin. It's no longer just Black and African American or other. So I think they did that, but it hasn't really taken effect yet in the policies. But I don't think it'll make a difference as far as you saying the Black Americans somehow got an anti-African movement going on or delineation movement going on, and then people are upset about that. I don't know why they're upset about that. I can't really like okay, before the delineation movement, the people from all over the world that happen to have melanin was able to just benefit off of being a Black minority. So I guess that might be threatened, and they might have less access to the resources that they had before. But us not being like considered African, that's always been their position against us. We was like heavy Pan-Africans in America. We had African American as our moniker. We had the Black scholars, John Henry Clark. We had the Black Power movement, consciousness movement, the conscious Black bookstores. And then the Africans started to interact with us and just give us the cold shoulder. And it was like nationwide. It wasn't like a anomaly. It was a consensus that we kind of noticed. And then we just comparing notes. People in New York, even Saw Netta actually mentioned it, how the Africans kind of don't see themselves as one of us, even though I think he's Caribbean. They still kind of was standoffish against, and he's like the main Pan-African Sarnetta. So if he has that, if he kind of noticed it, so people just started to notice how we wasn't really accepted by Africa. So I think that's where it came from. It wasn't like we just saying we not African. The Africans told us we not African, then they're not really like sharing the land with us like that. But other than slave tours.
I'm sure Dynas would have a different opinion because he's been very well accepted in Africa. So I'm sure he would have a very different opinion on that.
Even I heard Luke Jackson mention that he kind of was told he wasn't an African, and he lived in, I think, Uganda or something like that. So they are actually telling us we're not Africans for some reason. I don't know why they're telling us this, even though our name is actually African American. It's in our name. Why are you going to tell us we're not what our names say we are? It's like they had a resentment that we're actually called African by our nationality or ethnicity. Whatever whatever you want to describe what you just said, we're actually considered African American in America. But Africans aren't. They have like a country associated with them. They're not really like associated with the continent. So I always in the back of my mind thought they resented that we was actually called the whole continent and they weren't, even though they're actually born there.
Okay.
So that's what I always kind of figured, that they kind of resented us for being called African.
Can I say this? I was born in Britain. If I go back to Nigeria, they won't look at me as 100% Nigerian. They don't. And my mother was Nigerian. My father was Nigerian. But if I go back to Nigeria talking like this, they'll respect me, but they won't look at me like I'm one of them, 100%.
Yep, so, same way. And we get put into like that same kind of basket as literally any other like Black people that are born and raised outside of Africa. Like if I went with my Jamaican friend, if I went with a Black American, it's like, it ain't even like on a disrespect thing. It literally is them kind of being a little bit literal. They're just kind of like, oh, you lot was the ones that was raised in the West. Like equally, if I need help, they still gonna help me. If I show love, they'll show love. Like and I'm not gonna be treated the exact same as like an Italian or something like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, I think ISO Speed kind of quashed that.
Yeah.
ISO Speed killed FBA, really, in my opinion, because the love he was treated by Africans who were living in the mud, who haven't got a penny, and the love he was shown. Ooh, come on.
What do you mean he killed FBA? Like you making it seem like we're the villain, and y'all just admitted that the Africans treat y'all the same way. So how are we the villains?
Sorry, when I say killed FBA, that was a bit strong. But he
just
showed
a phrase, isn't it?
Yeah, he showed what African people think of Americans. Really, I think
that's true.
He went a long way. ISO Speed.
And the thing with Speed as well is like you can just compare it. Look at when he went traveling through Africa, and then look at when he goes traveling through South America or Europe, and all them people, like they love to try and come out Asia as well. They love to try and come out, call him monkey and do all these weird little things right there. And then when he comes to Africa, the only place where he took any grief was in like Morocco or Algeria or something like that. Everywhere else, when he was in all them different countries, from all them different regions, from all them different people groups, it was nothing but love. Like it was absolutely nothing but love. And that tends to be the case.
That's pretty typical for a Black American to go to Africa and uplift and try to talk good about the continent. We've been doing that for decades.
Nah,
but
it was on camera though. That's the thing. Like it ain't about what he came and told me. It's about what we saw the people do on camera.
Dynas does that. He does that. He has videos of him in Mali with the Dogon. He's elevating Africa like a lot of Black Americans do that. We never see the African come over here and highlight our community in a positive light. It's just vitriol and negativity. Even they come on this show yesterday just spewing venom, like calling out actresses hood rats and Pookie Ray Rays and all this negative nonsense. Like they don't come and show the positivity about our own the community in our country. Like we go over to Africa and try to show the positive.
What if African? What if, okay, that's what Africans may have said. What have Africans done? Because racism is a doing thing. What have Africans done to Black Americans?
We have Godfrey. He grew up in he grew up in Chicago. He had a British Nigerian dude, David Oloya or something like that. And they over there giggling and talking about our Southern accent is a slave dialect or a slave version, a slowed down version of a Nigerian accent. And they giggling and laughing like some superiority. Like he could have talked positive about the people he came over here to play, like Dr. King. But the show just some negativity. He's talking about how good Brad Pitt and these people are, and comparing himself. Like who say Brad Pitt is more prestigious than a Michael B. Jordan or a Denzel Washington? Why are they the standard in his mind? Like I listened to the interview, but he kept on using white actresses and actors as some standard, and just dogging out us.
Did you just hear what we just said? We just talked about ISO Speed receiving love.
Because he's an American. That's what we do. We go to Africa and show positivity. Like that's just normal for us.
No. You're not getting it. He would show love. It's not. A lot of them people didn't even know who he was.
I'm saying you could do the same thing if you come over here and people gonna treat you good. Like, but you never see that. They never really promote us in a positive light, the African people.
So you really think let's say a dark-skinned Black African with an African voice, you talk like that, and he talks like that. You really think he would get the level of respect by Black people in America?
I mean, you got Michael Blackson is a famous actor. A lot of African people come over here and flourish in our industries. Like you don't really see them getting attacked and beat down and ran out. But they really don't promote it. Like a Michael Blackson. I used to see him on comic Comicville with Cat Williams and them. He was just another comedian. See what I'm saying? Like they just blend in so well. They just another person, like another actor. It's not like they're African. But they don't really like come over here and present us to their countries in a positive light. It's like they just spew more negativity. But even though they do come over here and get accepted and just get into these clubs and have these successful careers and living in these beautiful communities that we have, they don't really promote it. They don't really tell people about it.
What is your personal experience with Africans being like?
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, how many yeah.
What are you talking about?
Like, what is your personal experience with Africans being like generally?
I mean, they just regular people. Like some stand off, some nice. Like they just on a bus. They just out here, just regular people. But they don't really like.
So you know some good ones, yeah?
Oh yeah, they don't. But they don't really like. You say ISO Speed. You don't really see them coming over here and just promoting the good of the Black community on the global stage.
I don't mean
do the Africans, do anything like that? Like
I don't mean to be nasty here.
And they just regular people. They just got jobs, going to work, stuff like that. They just man they business. But when you see them on the internet, they just spewing all this negativity. I'm like, where all this coming from? It's like they hold like what they present on the internet about us is totally different than what you see in the real world.
I don't mean to be nasty here, but what group of people go to another country and wants to align themselves with the group of people who were the least powerful and the least wealthy?
The least powerful. Like we have like whole neighborhoods just all black, like beautiful neighborhoods in Chicago that we allow them to move into. Like we have affluent neighborhoods. We least powerful.
Black people are the least powerful and the least wealthy in the United States. We
Listen. Our wealth combined is more than Africa.
Okay, you're missing the point.
Are we the least valuable people?
I said least wealthy, the least wealthy and the least powerful people.
Compared to who?
White Americans.
So you want to go over here and land with white people? The white Americans you talking about are the 1%. They're not even the people you see on a daily basis. Like you don't even get close to them.
I'm talking about the human beings are just naturally selfish in a way. It's like if you have to go through to another country, you're not going to align yourselves with the poorest people in Africa, with the least powerful people.
See, your perception of us, you think we're the poorest people, but we have more wealth than your whole continent. Like that's just crazy. So if I want to be arrogant, if I'm gonna be arrogant, I'm gonna be arrogant for the next 1 minute. I usually don't do this.
You're taking
Black Americans have. I'm gonna speak arrogant for 1 second, 1 minute, right? We have more accomplishments as 1/20th of Africa than your whole continent.
You're trying to prove.
We have created more to the world. We have more superstars. We have more inventors, more politicians. We have done more to elevate the world than your whole continent. We actually elevated and we actually educated your civil rights leader Kwame Nkrumah that ended ended colonialism.
There's others.
You're missing the point.
So how are we least powerful people that we have affected the world magnitudes of times more than Africa has?
But with all that being said, hold on, one mic. With all that being said, why do you want land in Africa?
I said earlier we need a contingency, but I was just being arrogant for 1 minute. How they was talking.
I think you'll be better served just staying in Chicago.
That's true. That might be true, but I'm saying as a people.
You're better served staying in Chicago, man.
I mean, I'm not thinking about myself.
Under Brandon Johnson.
Look, I'm not thinking about myself. I'm thinking about as a whole. I think we do deserve something in Africa. We do deserve that. To the least. At the least, we deserve some type of land and power there.
What I'm saying is that Black Americans are the least powerful and the least wealthy in the United States.
You keep mentioning that we have more wealthy the whole continent. So what that means? What that say about you?
Trying to make another point, bro. So just hear him out.
Let's say that all of Africa live in mortals and we starve. Let's say you're correct. You're correct. You're more powerful than us. You're richer than us.
That's true.
That doesn't change the fact that you're the least powerful and the least wealthy in America. We can agree on that.
If we're the least powerful, how do we affect the entire country's laws? Like the law was totally different before one of us jumped up from down south and changed the entire law. Before that, you wouldn't even be able to think about being over here.
So what
ain't saying you ain't got no power. It's just making a comparison.
We have no power. You absolutely crazy. We got so much power.
He ain't saying that. I said he ain't saying that.
But
he
said,
no
why would
power.
they align themselves with the least powerful people? We got so much power. A Haitian lady called us dirty Black Americans. Then a white people got together and said we got to get them up out of here. Dude, that's when you disrespecting us. You thought you disrespected us, and they said we got to get all of y'all up out of here.
M. I want you to repeat what you said very slowly.
We are so powerful as a people. The Haitian lady got on the internet and said we're dirty Black Americans, right? The next couple of months, Supreme Court agreed that they got to go. And
you said something else. You didn't say Supreme Court. You said what?
No. I say we so powerful that the Haitians disrespected us online, and then the white community got together and say they got to go.
So the white community did it, not you.
Because they saw them disrespect us.
Oh Lord Jesus!
No, we ain't got no power.
Because you disrespected us, they got together and said you got to go. Because how you gonna disrespect some people who made it possible for you to get? Because don't nobody in our whole country's culture, we don't appreciate.
You think that the white people care about you so much that they got rid of you
Well, Megyn Kelly made her monologue. She made a monologue about Haitians, right? They still haven't responded to it. In her monologue, she said they don't even respect their neighbors. In her monologue, who do you think she was talking about?
Megyn Kelly. Oh Lord.
She dissed them so bad they got so humble that they started tagging us. But she mentioned in her monologue they don't even respect their own neighbors. The people. That was she said in her monologue.
Megyn Kelly.
Listen,
she went in on the Haitians.
Megyn Kelly. Oh,
she went in on the Haitians, and they still ain't responded to her. And she mentioned that they don't even respect their own neighbors. Because the Haitians got on the internet talking greasy about Black Americans, now all of a sudden they got to go. You should you should have showed us some respect.
So is Megyn Kelly your ally now over Africans and Caribbeans?
No, I'm mentioning that as far as Haitians, and then she's not my ally. She just mentioned it in her monologue when she was talking about.
But you brought her up, bro.
I brought her up to mention to reinforce my point that when they spoke ill against us, they ended up getting consequences that we didn't even have to impose.
Oh Lord,
we didn't even have to impose them consequences.
But
you
don't understand is we don't have the power to impose them.
We could have stopped it.
How?
Well, we got Clarence Thomas on there. We got the Supreme Court judge on there. He voted towards that, and then we got politicians and we got civil rights activists that usually protest these things and cause havoc. But we heard the rhetoric, the negativity, and we said, okay, y'all got to go. We just acquiesced to it. We didn't do what we normally do. We didn't shake the world and change policies.
Bro, what you don't understand is most Black people who have power and are rich, most of them are Negro puppets for white supremacy.
There you go.
I'm gonna reinforce what I was saying. Now, when Haitians, when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris was in the power, the Haitians was in Texas under the bridge, 15,000, and then I think Mayorkas, the National Security, Homeland Security Secretary, decided to deport them. The Black Caucus, this lady from California, she was what's her name? I can't think of her name. She's like a very famous Black Caucus member. They got all together and forced Biden to stop that. They put a stop to that. They was talking about deporting all. Remember they was under that bridge and they told me they gonna deport them.
Waters?
Yes, her. She got up there vocal and said, y'all gonna put a stop to this. And they stopped that, but you don't hear her saying nothing now.
Dude,
because they heard that video that they talking about dirty Black Americans and all this hate they speaking. Like y'all talking against us, not realizing like
nobody is talking against you. You're just trying. You're more interested in winning the tallest midget contest. That's what you just want to.
You think we midgets? Like we have more money than your whole continent? How we midgets? I usually don't talk arrogant, but.
No,
I usually don't talk arrogant, but I'm just gonna be arrogant for 1 minute. Like literally, like we have more accomplishments on Earth than you could do in 10,000 years. Like we talking about.
Listen, all Black
this computer you own, like we built that, like we invented the computer. Like what's his name?
All Black people are midgets under a system of.
We literally invented the computer that you're using to get on the internet right now.
Who invented the computer?
Hold on. I got you.
Listen, let me tell you something, right? If white people
left, I'm gonna think of his name.
Can I tell you something? If white people left USA today, do you really think FBAs will be able to say, no problem, we'll run the power stations 24/7?
No who do you think started? Who ran the power station before they were slaves?
Let me finish just for once. No problem. We'll make sure the satellites stay in the sky. No problem. Do you know all them nuclear warheads? All them 5,000 nuclear warheads that America has?
Hold on. Hey, Dinus, if I get off this, if I try to search it, I'm gonna get kicked off. If
you make a statement that we invented the computers, you should know who invented it.
But you could just Google the inventor of the personal computer. He worked for Dell. He's a Black guy, but I just can't think of his name right now. It's at the tip of my tongue. But if I do it, I'm gonna get kicked off.
I'll look it up and then I'll tell you.
Yes, I can't do it because that's why I be getting kicked off.
The inventor of the personal computer was not by a single person. Rather, key early milestones were created by John Blackenbaker, Ed Roberts, Steve Wozniak.
The one that did it for Dell Computers, he invented it. I think was it IBM? I think IBM.
Oh man,
It's a particular black guy that
right
invented
here.
it.
So there's 7 stages. So John Blackenbecker designed the Kenback 1 in 1971.
Okay, so
recognized by the Computer History Museum as the first personal computer. Let's pull up a picture of John Blackenbecker.
Not him. It's another one. The one that invented it
I'm just
for
going off
for IBM.
unless you have something that counts.
Go ahead.
All right, so this is a picture of John Blackenbecker. Hold on. That's John.
Damn.
Damn, come on, man. We got it.
Damn.
I mean, now we invent. I mean, I understand, but we have to stop lying and exaggerating.
Miss Maya, look up the first personal computer for IBM.
So now
the one that we use, today.
So now we the Indians.
Listen. The computer that we use today was invented by IBM. It is black scientists, not.
Jesus Christ, man.
Can I have the floor? I found him.
Go ahead, because you being disingenuous, Dynasty.
I just looked at it. I just Googled it.
That's not the computer we use.
His name is Dr. Mark Dean.
Yeah, Mark Dean, the one that we use.
Jesus Christ.
He is a PhD from Stanford, and he's in the National Hall of Inventors. He has 30 patents pending, and he's the vice president with IBM.
Okay.
He invented the computer we use.
All right, so you've got your little self-esteem boost, right?
No. I mean, did he invent the computer we use? That's the question.
The personal computer that has the monitor,
I'm
keyboard.
asking, Miss. I'm asking, Miss. Did Miss Sister? Did he invent the personal computer?
Who?
I'm not talking to you, Miss Sisters. Did he invent the personal computer?
Sorry.
I'm reading the article. Go ahead and go, and I'll let you know.
Who invented the computer?
Because the computer started off the size of a house. It was a huge thing.
The question is
Charles Babbage.
Well, it says Mark Dean and his co-inventor Dennis Euler created a microcomputer system with bus control means for first.
This guy's talking shit.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean,
the computer that we use today with the peripherals, the monitor, the keyboard, and the USB.
That existed before in different forms and different scientists and different.
It was a mainframe before this. It was a huge mainframe.
In the article, because of Dr. Dean, the PC became a part of our daily lives. So
exactly.
Why?
It was smaller.
No, what I'm asking is, did he invent it? That's the question.
It doesn't say directly he invented it, but
end of story. End of story.
Acknowledged. Yeah, but he was obviously involved.
And okay,
when did he make his contribution?
Did he invent it? That's all we need to know.
Yes.
Where does he say that he invented it? That's all I'm asking.
Doesn't say here.
It doesn't say he was directly the inventor.
I would tell you this. In his biography, he invented the personal computer as a child in his garage, and when he worked for IBM, he brought his own invention to IBM because his father worked for the I think the U.S. government. I mean, that's what it's saying in his autobiography. He actually invented it.
He's a black Iron Man, bro.
When he was a teenager, he invented it in his garage.
Make sure you know what you're talking about.
The personal computer that we use with the monitor, the keyboard, that was invented by him. Before, it was a giant house. It was like the size of a building. A huge mainframe.
He might have definitely made a massive contribution. Definitely.
But that was just one of the things I was saying. I'm sure he did. The computer you're using, the cell phone you're using, a lot of things that you're using right now was responsible. We was responsible for that thing, that technology. The people you say are the size of midgets.
You are?
That was just one of the examples I used.
You are. Black people are just under system of white supremacy.
We are more wealthy than your whole continent. What are you talking about? I'm gonna keep mentioning that.
We got more gold.
I don't care. What I'm saying is this. Nobody comes to another country and tries to get along with the people or tries to mingle with the people who are the least powerful and the least wealthy. That's just how it is.
See that we empower people that's least powerful. Y'all try to step on people that's least powerful.
Oh my
That's the
God.
difference between us. We go to Africa, we try to help the people and elevate the people. Like Oprah, I just read an article. She closed her school in South Africa. Y'all read that article?
Yeah, there was unfortunately some like very bad things that were happening to the girls in them schools that Oprah had specifically. Like, I'm not gonna say the words because it might mess up Dinah's channel, but yeah, there were some very bad things that were happening allegedly to the girls in that school that Oprah had allegedly.
I just read the article today. She's closing that school today. They just said it.
Oprah doesn't
You know, there was
represent
some
all
very,
black
very evil, bad things. Like, there was some very bad things going on. Like I said, I'm not going to say them words because our respect for Dinah's platform and all of that type of stuff. But yeah, the types of things you don't want happening to little girls or any woman for that matter, allegedly, was what was happening at that school. Allegedly.
And the reason I brought up Oprah, we just when Black Americans go to Africa, we go to elevate. We don't go to try to side with white supremacy and try to talk about we gonna side with the most powerful people.
There's been times where when that's happened. Like there was that famous case of that CIA agent that was in Ghana and got tangled up in a bit of a situation. Like, I'm not saying it happens a lot.
I'm talking about regular Black
it's
Americans.
a story. No, hey, that's facts, bro. You know what I
We
mean?
go
That's
there
just
and
facts. I'm not
elevate
saying
people.
that people don't go with good intentions. Dinah's
don't
goes
go
with great
looking
intentions.
down
We
on
know
people.
that there's
We don't
definitely
talk about
people over there with good
not
intentions.
side with the
But we can't
weakest
say that
people, like you
every
just
single
said.
individual is always doing
We don't
something.
come to
Like
countries stepping on
people are
people.
people. That's what it
We
is.
go to
Like people is
countries.
people, bro.
We go to countries building people up. Y'all don't do that.
Brother. There is no white supremacy in Africa. So what
You crazy? Look at South Africa.
Wait, what? Sorry, wait. Did he say there's no white
There is no
supremacy in
white.
Africa?
This dude is talking
Every
crazy.
black country in Africa has a black president.
This dude is talking crazy.
Wait. So there's no white supremacy? None.
No, you
Hey,
don't. You
man, I
don't see white
appreciate the show,
supremacy
though.
in Africa like you do in America.
There's no white
No, it's not like America at all. It's definitely different. But did you say there's no white supremacy at all in Africa?
Yes. What I meant to say there's least white supremacy in Africa.
There's more white supremacy in Africa
That's
than anywhere on the
better
planet.
way to put it.
There's more white supremacy in Africa than anywhere on the planet. Africa doesn't control the wealth of
Absolutely.
Africa. The wealth of Africa is not controlled by Africans.
But in every country in Africa,
And
there's a black governor.
to take it,
every state in America, there's a white governor, and it's always in America has always been ruled by a white president.
And America kills every single African leader who goes against their wish. Every single African leader.
But
very true.
But look, but M is talking like Africans come over here and side with white supremacy because there is white supremacy is strong in America, but you don't see white supremacy strong like that in Africa. So it'd be foolish to say
because
black Americans go over to Africa and side with white
All
supremacy. That'll be foolish because almost every black country in sub-Saharan Africa and black Africa has a black president.
So why do Africans? Why in every single country the black Africans have to fight to get white people out and still fighting to this day? Every single one.
Yeah, but I'm actually like I'm not.
I just asked you a question.
Yeah, I'm actually I'm actually on y'all side.
Okay, there you go.
No, I know it's definitely different, but I definitely think like obviously not like on a day-to-day basis unless you live somewhere in Southern Africa like Zimbabwe or Namibia or something. But it does exist there.
But basically, what
in a different way. Less in your face and all of that.
Yeah, you don't have a Donald. You don't have a Donald Trump in Africa.
I'd like to ask Charlie and Dave a question. I'd like to ask Charlie and Dave.
What do you think Bill Gates is doing in Africa?
Charlie,
what do you think your American Bill Gates is doing?
Hold up, Charlie. Yeah, I'm ready to hear the question, sir.
Go on.
Yeah, Charlie, can you yield the floor momentarily?
Sorry.
Oh, okay. If I understand correctly, both Charlie and Dave, you are both African nationals. Africa is your original country of origin. Is that correct?
No, I'm from UK. But obviously, like my family, like heritage. But no, I'm from UK.
Okay, your family. Where's your family from?
Ghanaians.
Okay. Well, here's my question for both of you. you, based upon just the rhetoric that you're using, and Charlie, in particular, when you refer to Black Americans as the tallest of the midgets, and that African nationals, they come, to many Western societies because they do not come to ally with.
When you say tallest of the midgets, we gotta. I mean economically.
Oh, okay. All right.
My point is, let me say something.
Let me finish. Just please let me finish, and I will give you the floor. Okay. So, if both of you are arguing that the reason why African nationals immigrate to many of these Western societies, and because they want to advance, and therefore people with low income, low educational attainment, low social status is of no value, or
Can I just say one thing?
No value to you. Hold on, let me finish. Then why do you oppose foundational Black Americans separating and saying we are going to pursue our own separate, unique political agenda based upon our ethnicity? If you see no cultural capital in our ethnic group, why are you so opposed to us delineating? That's my question.
Well, you're putting words in my mouth. I didn't say that. I've got no problem with FBAs. The only problem I have with the FBAs is they're hateful.
You came on here, Charlie, and said, I don't like FBAs. I recall that. I identify as FBA.
I don't. But I don't. But that's because I don't like their hateful rhetoric towards Black Africans. That's it.
Okay, so if you don't like what you perceive as hateful rhetoric, and did he leave? I'm sorry that he left. He disagreed with many of your positions, but he was respectful.
Was he?
Was he?
I thought so. He wasn't calling. What was he? Did he call you any names?
He just talked.
Yeah, with all due respect. With all due respect, yeah, and thank you, by the way, for asking your question. Actually, I'm really actually quite excited to dialogue with you. But with regards to M, I don't think it's exactly fair to say that he's exactly respectful towards Africans, because we can all pull up on Dinah's YouTube channel, pick an episode within the last 7 days, and we can find those moments where he says what he says. And I'll be honest, we don't necessarily like what he says. Sometimes he gets a response, sometimes he doesn't. But I don't think that it would be exactly very honest to say that he's was like respectful. Like there's definitely times where he is respectful, no doubt, but there's also times where he's not respectful. And I think that as we continue to grow, like in these kind of conversations, I think it will kind of just, he's going to say what he's going to say, and that's his choice. But I do think it's kind of like a thing that you see a little bit often out of him.
Okay. All right. Well, let's just set aside,
but
Mr.
With regards to delineation, here's my take, right? Here's
you can't.
Sorry, go on.
Why not go? Why should we try to continue to unify as a coalition if there are these deep ideological differences? That's my question.
Okay, so with my take, with delineation, I have zero problems with it. I think that it's necessary. I think that classifying everything under broad banners isn't always what people want. I have zero problem with that. I mean, people are going to have whatever their opinions when it comes down to the whole, like, I'm not African thing, especially when at times some of the arguments about being native, even from...
I agree.
Yes, yeah, some of the arguments aren't based in like good logic. Yeah, sometimes.
That person just said there's no white supremacy in Africa, while Bill Gates is in Africa mass sterilizing African women under the guise of population control. That's
Yeah,
what
but
Bill
brother,
Gates is doing.
yeah,
Bill Gates
it's
is.
I want to respond to that.
Go on.
it's a
Go
bit
ahead.
of a problem for us, yeah, because
Yeah.
What do you?
it's not the delineation that's the problem. It's the anti-African and anti-Caribbean stuff that comes. That's what people have a problem with.
Exactly.
If it was purely just a case of we're delineating, we're making sure we do our own fit, like etc. Well, for one, I mean, we don't have much of a problem for that because we've always respected the difference. Yes, you guys are a part of what we would say from our view, like, yeah, you guys is kind of like a part of that big global black kind of group. You're your own group, but you're kind of within, you know, like you're just like us, you know. And it's not to say you come under our umbrella, but it's more to say that we are of the same thing but different, you know. And that's why somebody like a Dynast can go, and it's not like him being there like tourists from like England going to Kenya on safari. It's different. It's like you're not, you know, you weren't born and raised there, but you know, you of that. And ultimately, I would say most definitely this, right? Me personally, I support it. Delineate, do what you think, that's your choice. And I think that each group is absolutely within their rights to have the autonomy to make decisions they want. I would be very interested to see a Black American referendum on the whole thing. Like, I would love to see that happen because I want to see that group do well. That doesn't mean necessarily I have to be liked like perfectly. Like, even if somebody don't like or respect me, I still got respect for that group and want to see that. And that's how it is for a lot of us outside. But the anti-African rhetoric, all I ask, yeah, is go back and listen to what is said about Africans and really ask yourself, would you really like respect being spoken to like by that type of, like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't respect that. If somebody came up to me in the street and spoke to me with some, not all, but with some of the things that are said, that would be like a situation. You know what I mean? Like, you can't really expect people to kind of just sit there and take that, and then you're not going to get like no type of like pushback. Equally, I also accept that some Africans ain't doing the right things and they're making like loud noise and talking rubbish. And sadly, all I can say is that they're individuals and they don't make up a reflection of the group. But yeah, that's just that's my thesis right there.
But yeah. I want to respond to him about white supremacy in Africa. See, here's the thing that a lot of people, they don't give Africans the credit. Africans don't. A lot of people don't give Africans the credit they deserve. Okay, because when these white countries had the plan for the scramble of Africa to conquer Africa, they had the same plan for Africa as they did America. Now, if these white supremacists had won and had got the victory and had got it their way, there would not be one single black face in Africa today. They wanted the whole Africa. They even the Arabs in North Africa, there would be no Arabs in North Africa. They wanted to do the same thing to Africa as they did to America, but it didn't work out for them. Why? Because the Africans fought back. They fought back. They fought against white supremacy, and that's why the Africans are still there today. If these white supremacists had it their way, there would be no Africans, no black Africans, no Ibrahim Traore, none of that would exist. Africa would be just like America today. There would be hardly no Africans, no black faces seen in Africa, just as there are hardly any Native Americans are seen in America. And that was their intention. That was their wicked plan, but it didn't work out because the Africans fought back.
Exactly.
100%. Like, unless, you know, again, the only equivalent is like maybe South Africa or Zimbabwe and Namibia. But you're right in that Africa fought to keep, you know, the continent the way it was, and we don't experience white supremacy in the exact same way as it is in America. I think probably Africa is way more on a geopolitical level.
Yes.
You know, the same way like Black Americans are discriminated against in like the banking sector. Like, put that on a world scale, and then you've got Africa. Like, it's pretty hard for all of us everywhere. And that's why I think, to be honest with you, that's why I think a lot of this stuff is sadly a bit of a time waste for us, because I think we got bigger fish to fry. But equally, again, I respect all sides. Like, if you want to delineate. If you want to not delineate. Like, you know, respect to the people, bro. And like, again, like, let's just keep it all a buck and let's just all be respectful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
I think we got somebody new on the panel. Yeah.
How many people? How many people's here? Let's have a look.
Who's that?
Is it man's sake?
Yeah, but you can go ahead and speak if you want to. Yeah, we're done.
Peace and love. I hope everyone is doing well. How's everyone doing? All right?
Oh, good.
Good. So pretty much I wanted to add to the topic. I mean, everyone got a right to call whatever you want, man. You can call yourself an ice cream sandwich, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And still think you're solving, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can call yourself whatever you want. But I do want to respond to Maya, especially what you guys were talking about M, because like, I don't know, like he'll say something, right? And then when you try to rebut what he says, he'll overtalk you, so you just forget your talking points.
Yes.
You know, and yeah, he'll keep overtalking you, so he doesn't want to listen to what you got to say, and he'll just keep interrupting you and stuff. You know.
Wait there.
What else did he say too? And then he said something about how he should get allocated with some land or something, right?
Yeah,
Ain't that
he
what
said
he said?
that.
He said the land. Yeah, he said the land should just be given to him. You know, because he keeps saying that it should be given to him. But again, you know, when Dinus asked him about is he African, he went on the whole semantics type of thing, and he couldn't really answer the question. And then to answer Brother Pharaoh's question about these African countries, I guess he's saying that they're not dealing it with as much as white supremacy, but Pharaoh, you got to understand, right? Some of these presidents, some of them are in compromised positions, meaning like, you know, sometimes they might go to the EU, US, and they might be caught in some scandals, and they don't do certain things. Or what happens is sometimes they have assets in certain countries, right? So let's take the scenario with Bazoum, right? Yeah, most of it got black people in it, right? But Pharaoh, did you know, for example, when the Chinese did the oil pipeline in Niger, right? Pretty much the ownership, Niger got zero ownership, meaning that 100% of the ownership went to China, right? So when that coup happened back in 2023 with General Tiani, not only that they got sanctions from ECOWAS, they got sanctions from the AU, they also got sanctions from the EU and the US, and on top of that, Nigeria went and cut the electricity off in Niger. So now you got to ask yourself, what was the concentrated effort of them going this hard on Niger? Because they had never went this hard on any other country, right? And it just shows you that when you do certain things, when you stand up for yourself, they try to destabilize your country.
Exactly.
But luckily, Burkina Faso, Mali came to, got Nigeria's back, and they was able to sustain themselves. So like I was saying before, if they don't do certain things, then they'll hold your assets. Another prime example, look what happened in Tanzania, right? When the EU threatened the president from Tanzania about their military aid and their assets, who did she run to? She ran to Russia, just to show them and say, hey, listen, if you try to threaten my our assets, then they'll let you know that I got multiple partners too. You know what I'm saying? So most of these leaders, they can't. It's not like they can just get up and just do whatever they want. They got to do certain bidding.
Exactly.
And the problem in Africa too, I know especially with the AU, The AU is not self-funded. So if you don't self-fund yourself, then again, someone else who's funding you controls what you want to say. Because they made it clear, especially those AES brothers. They said that, hey, why are we in the meeting when there's foreigners inside the meeting observing what we're talking about? That's just like weird.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Is like I understand what you say. Like on the surface, it might look like is a black country, but those are the things that they're dealing with and stuff too. But because of those 3 brothers in the AES, whatever, they was able to survive all that. Now you're seeing a thing which now more African countries are talking about industrialization, especially with the refineries and local processing with minerals in those in those African countries, which will industrialize Africa. And on top of that, they're talking it's a multipolar world, so it's not just the EU and the US no more. It's China, there's Russia, there's Turkey, there's the UAE, there's other countries involved too. So that's what I want to respond to.
Yeah, I understand that, and that's
Well said.
yeah, to me that is small, because
That's
regardless of sanctions and all that, control over resources. I mean, as long as the black population in Africa is strong and still in existence, they have a chance to overcome that.
Of course.
Yeah. So.
And that's what they are, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's. I mean, that's. Yeah. I mean, but that's. But the United States and the European powers, they would rather have it, where they would rather have it where one of their own is controlling in Africa. See, but because of the fighting spirit of the people, and yeah, because of the fighting spirit of the people, and because the people of Africa, got a love for blackness and a love for their own kind, they're not going to allow any white man to come, be chosen as president for their country. They're going to want one of their own to lead them and rule over them. But of course, the white America and France, back during the times of the scramble of Africa and the conquest of Africa, they didn't want it that way. They wanted their own up in there to deal, just like in America, But but because the black population is still so strong there, that's never going to happen, But yeah, I mean, but having a couple of Negro puppets there, putting up with the commands and rules of white supremacy. I mean, I see that that's I mean, it's not good, but I see that as small, compared to population mass genocide, and that's what the white supremacists was pushing for, to get all black people out of Africa and make Africa all white. That was their real.
I mean, it's still little aspects, like they're trying to introduce like certain NGOs foods that they can't produce. They're trying to say they got to work with this company. Like if you get loans from the IMF, they got to work with this company, that company, and stuff before they give you a bad credit rating. I remember at one time when when Mali was part of the G5 Sahel, and when those terrorists were running around. Remember, because they had borders. So what happened is, for example, they say if a terrorist came from like Mauritania, whatever, he went and just did an attack in Chad, he'll run to Mali, cross Mauritania, because the G5 Sahel was not self-funded. They couldn't go chase the terrorists. They had to stop at their border. But because those AS brothers came together, they made their borders borderless. So what happens is, just say if a terrorist from Burkina Faso goes and attacks in Mali and tries to run in Burkina Faso, he doesn't have to stop no more. So now he can go straight for that border and go after that terrorist. And that's why they've been losing so bad. Like Pharaoh, look how this is a concentrated effort. When have you ever noticed a terrorist organization, right, gets the backing of a Human Rights Watch, right? And they're saying to them, we recognize that they're getting abused. And then on top of that, That same terrorist group and goes in an interview and he thanks the Human Rights Watch organization for saying that, putting their story up. Does that make any type of sense?
Oh no.
No, that has never happened. And then on top of that, that same organization put out a statement saying that how there's no abuses from those terrorists, and when they're abusing freaking black children, whatever, and women and doing horrendous things to this population. I mean, there was one time which the same terrorists went and they put a bomb on a child, sent that child to the freaking market, whatever, and you know what happened, whatever. That's what happened with the child.
Yeah. Man,
and then they had grown men. I'm not laughing, but they had grown men training with sticks. Sticks. Yo, literally, and then if you look at this video, they're training with sticks and they're making pew pew sounds. Grown ass men.
Yeah, that's
that's crazy.
Yeah, I know, man. But I mean, but that's but that's aside from what the real intentions of white supremacy was. I mean, look at Australia. Okay, Australia is 25 million people, but there's only less than 1 million black Aborigine Australians still left. I mean, they're the population is small, and that was their intention, to come there, wipe out all the black Aboriginals and take over Australia, and because the Aboriginals didn't have the population and the power to fight like Africa did, that became a success for the white Europeans. They accomplished what they wanted to accomplish. They wiped out almost all the black native Aboriginals, and they took over Australia. And the same thing with Argentina and a couple islands in the Caribbean. Yeah, but that was white supremacy intention, was to wipe out all native indigenous, dark-skinned native indigenous people and populate all lands and continents with by the white, all populate all lands and continents for the white race. But it didn't work out for them in Africa, and it didn't work out for them in the Middle East either. So because those countries, ever since the times of the pharaohs, ever since the Assyrians, the people of Africa in the Middle East have always had a fighting spirit, and they had a fighting spirit that the white man feared and he could not touch, and he still has that fear today. And that's why Africa, even Black Americans, need to realliance with themselves with Africa and keep that fighting spirit up, because the fight is not over with. White supremacy, they're still up to no good. They still have their wicked plans that they want to carry out. And if we lay down and give up and give in like the rest of these Negroes, who's selling out, and these divestors and swirlers who are turning against their own black race and trying to give in to white supremacy, then we're going to fall victim, just like the Aborigines did, and just like the Native American Indians did.
I've got to call you out. Nobody dates outside their race more than black men. We can't point the finger at black women for that.
No, I disagree with that. I disagree with that, because
really,
I don't go by internet stats. I go by what I see every day, and every time I go out, I'm always seeing a black woman with a white man, and I'm going.
Hey, guys, let me pass the mic. Let me pass the mic to Man Safety. We got to let me read these super chats first. Did they mean the Dimples? Thank you for the 250 jewels. Clapping seal. Emma BS Quad Gaming. Thank you for the holla. Didn't Trump say he was going to deport Haitians to Springfield, Ohio, way before that? Supposed. Haitian girl said that. Haitians did respond to Dirty Meg. TF7389, thank you for the holla. Africans make it 100% clear that they are different than FBA African Americans. Now we are doing the same. We don't need permission or approval. Go ahead, man. Say they were closing out.
All right, so no, that's why pretty much I was just saying that, you know, like every other group got the right to call each other what you want to call yourself. You know what I mean? You can call yourself an ice cream sandwich, you can call yourself a giraffe, you can call yourself an elephant. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that that's directed towards nobody, let's be clear. But yeah, I don't think no one is mad about the delineating from other people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, can anybody agree to that? No one's not like mad and so too.
No,
I agree.
Yeah,
it's all good.
No, just like I said, it's all good. No, huh? What you say?
I've no problem. Just stop.
Yeah.
Stop the hate. That's all. Stop the hate.
Right. But I mean, mostly what I'm seeing is just like it's mostly happen on the internet more than that I see in person. I mean, you might have a little spats here and there, but I'm mostly seeing it online. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm seeing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You know, but
yeah, I say no to delineation, yes to unification.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because we need to unify. We need to unify and take down white supremacy, or none of us, no black people will exist.
Bomba clot.
And then I wanted to answer one dude's question. I don't know what's his name. I'm not even gonna say his name. The one with that's the FBA flag. You know, because people don't understand when you get land in Africa, most of the time, you can't just buy out the land because you gotta. If you're not like a citizen from there, they lease the land to you. I just hope people is aware of that. You know, they like, for example, in Kenya, when you buy land, it's leased to you for like 100 years. Same thing in Ghana, same thing in Burkina Faso. So you just can't out there just own land and just say, hey, listen, this is gonna be mine forever. I mean, you know, just saying.
All right, guys, everyone, thanks so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Till next time, family dynasty, search for real peace.